Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
All right. Yeah. Blast off. Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Geek out with us live where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go off-world. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies, and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Blast off! Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go off-world tonight.
Woohoo and choo choo. What's up, Joe? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, Curtis. You know what time it is?
What time is it?
Time to hit the tires and light the fires.
There it is. There it is, folks. Joe G, everybody. Joe G in the house.
There it is.
Well, I appreciate you joining in, Joe. I know you were, didn't know if you were going to make it or not, so I appreciate you showing up.
Yeah, I'm deep in the mines right now, but my boss said it was okay to help you start the show. You know, it's tradition.
Yeah, appreciate that.
It's important.
I know there's machines out there needing greased up. And you're the master greaser, but I appreciate you taking time away from greasing for a second just to hang out with us. So
It's no problem. I love you guys, and I love Val Kilmer, and I'm your Huckleberry.
awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. We appreciate that. We got a few more folks with us here. We got hey, it's Van.
Hey!
How's it going? You know Joe here, right?
Hey, Joe. Okay, bother real essay.
Hey, Van. I don't talk like that.
Oh, my bad.
We also have the man behind the thumbnails, and it's Cosmic Jeff. What's up, Jeff?
What's up, everybody?
You don't see my
How's
face.
it going, sir?
Timu Joe and Van.
Timu, hey, Legendary Prime, chill out, bro. That's not cool.
Yeah, this is just Joe. What are you talking about?
I like
You heard him. You heard him lighting fires, right? I mean,
Yeah,
And
the only
wait,
person that
did
lights
he say
fire around
kicking
here.
tires or
He said
licking
whatever he
tires.
said.
licking?
licking tires,
Licking tires.
spin hot fire. I'm battle rap Joe Gonzalez tonight.
Very nice. Very nice. We've got one more awesome person with us, and that is Oz. What's up, Oz? There he is.
How's it going,
All his
everybody?
glory. So,
Still good to see you guys tonight.
yeah, awesome.
That's from both of us, Oz.
There we go.
Appreciate everybody jumping on for as long as you stay. I mean, if you have to go, totally understand that. But if everybody wants to stay, that's cool too. But yeah, appreciate everybody. Look at that. We even got a puppers in the house.
That's a Rosie.
Nice.
Rundoonies.
That's a smart dog.
Yeah, this is a stupid one. Oh shit, he's gonna eat the phone. Go away, stupid. We don't want to play.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Hey, I gotta go back to work. The boss
gotta
is
go
hounding
grease?
me, but
Okay.
yeah, I gotta go grease. But lick those tires, spit hot fires, and I'll try and tune in next time I can when I hit the bathroom. But have a great show, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
You're the best.
No, you are.
Joe Gonzalez, everybody. So yeah, didn't know if he was gonna make it. That's cool. We got a few folks out there in the chat. We got Dave Organ in the house, says it's Dragon Weekend. It is now Dragon Weekend. Blake, hello, happy Friday. Jimmy Gouvier, on Ryu out there. We got Hank is here. Got Oz on the screen in the chat doing double duty. We got Guaisagwe Etchavaria. I got Motu Guru is here. Let's see. Scrolling. We got William Husted. Spent some time with him at Muskecon. That was cool. Kent Pool. He's back on the road doing the toy pickup thing. Yeah, he's getting back into it in the swing of things. I saw him picked up a couple counts today. So yeah.
In
That's
demand.
two counts. 2 counts. Let's see. We got Darla Ackerman here. I know her.
Oh, how's she feeling?
You may hear her cough a little bit throughout the episode, but she just gave me a thumbs up. So I think she's sucking on a Ricola right now.
Give her a
Does-
bourbon.
Does Darla have a Curtis bell that she can ring when she's not feeling well?
She needs
That's
one.
not I don't think that's a thing.
That's gonna be a thing.
She needs to be one.
She just said that's a great idea. I did run and get her coconut chicken today and missed. I mean, I saw Lynn live, but I wasn't on Lynn live because I was taking care of Darla. So, although many people thought that I was in the hospital for gold poisoning.
I was going to say you had your own brush with death today.
Yeah. Damn Subway employees. Kenzo is here. What's up, Kenzo? You should if he's not busy, throw him the link. See if you can get Kenzo on.
What is that link or address?
Let's see.
It's my OnlyFans, Jeff. Stop acting like you don't know that.
Patrick Boyle, one half of PB&J, is here. We got Greg resting up, taking it easy. He's not allowed to lift heavy things, so that means somebody has to help him go to the bathroom. But
True story.
He'll be all right. And Rick is here, Rick Emmert. So I think
he's not allowed to lift his hammer with both hands?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that his
with
wrist
those
can hold that
wrists.
anyway. So
If the wrists don't give, the ankle will.
yeah.
Oh, kicking a man when he's down.
And Brad is here. Hey, Brad.
Who do you think's helping him hold everything up? Come on.
Valid.
I'm at the right height. I just gotta.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I guess let's just okay. Let's just start off with, we got a 24, 26, 28, 30 hour, I don't know, something hour stream tomorrow. So we're going to be covering a lot of Dragon talk there. Probably won't do any of that tonight. Tonight we're going to do other stuff. But hope to see everybody back. It's a whole thing tomorrow. As far as I know, the schedule is starting with PGG, 9 o'clock, and then just going straight through from them to Oz, from Oz to Offworld, I think.
Offworld again?
Offworld to, I don't know. It's somebody. There's a schedule out there. I'm sure we'll pull it up.
Dragging these
Somebody wants to
balls
share that at
across the
some point.
StreamYard.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, but we'll save some of that for tomorrow. But for today, let's first get into our normal thing. Let's do some pickups. What do we got? We'll start. I'm gonna start with Van. Van, you got any pickups to show?
Let's see here.
You were just at the cool Toylanta venue. How did that show treat you?
It treated me okay. Let's see. I got purple guys.
Nice.
Purple guys. I got not roadblock.
Nice.
I got a bag of ducks. Shout out Patrick Boyle.
Yeah.
I got some printed parts from Dave Chandler.
Nice.
I got a bunch of I need to take these out. I got a bunch of Glyos from
I saw Dave
Warlords
call
of
out
War.
the Horseman about Bay's Fury, saying that he stole it. They stole his idea. So
They definitely stole his idea. And I got some legendary barbarian action.
nice.
But actually, when we do our members only or the channel members giveaway, I've got a autographed ATL 25 and an autographed legendary barbarian that we're going to be giving away.
Autographed by
the people that attended the show, the
nice.
studio employee people.
Nice.
So they're going to sign that up for us.
Very nice.
And yeah, I need to open one of these purple guys actually.
Do
But
it.
yeah,
And I think you should probably have a members only jacket for the members only stream.
man, I wish I had a members only jacket still. Those are the days, right?
Yeah, everybody go find us a link for some members only jackets. So
like
Yeah.
those letter jackets or
No, members only. They're actually really plain.
and a signed purple Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. Jordan signed it. So
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
I seen it.
And if you're lucky, if you ask for it, Jordan may also get Joe Gonzalez to sign it. So
There you go.
yeah. So we'll see.
you
That
might
can be
just
arranged.
stab it and leave the knife in there. It's like a signature.
Awesome. Well, another person that was
Oh,
Joe.
hey, Joe got out of the
Gonzalez.
mine.
yeah, Joe's there. Hey, Joe.
I found the purple portal down here.
Joe tunneled his way into Van's house.
No, he found a purple portal down in the mines and swung by.
Yeah,
Very
little kind of heads up to folks. I heard that Joe was going to be working some extra overtime this week. I know he's trying to buy all the Vecnas that he can at all the stores. There's a few of them left. He's been scouring, and so I know he's been trying to save up some money to get all those Vecnas.
What's a Vecna?
There you go, right there.
That's this guy right here.
It's D&D character with the purple dongs on his back.
Oh, I like dinosaurs.
Yeah, them. Yep.
That's him.
All right. Well,
Got
Jeff
Sounds
Ray,
familiar.
we're gonna go to you next. You were also at Toylanta. How did Toylanta treat you, sir?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Am I going big screen or?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I forgot to do that with the band.
Oh.
But
Oh, my.
wait. That's the wrong one.
Wow, what a diva.
Hold on.
Did you
How
see,
about
did you
this
see
one?
that look that Legends Daddy Prime gave
I
him?
know.
He totally did.
sassy.
He's like,
Yeah,
I got that
sassy
big
as fuck.
screen.
I did.
here.
I did pick up a trick from Len today, though. Apparently, if you do a giveaway, Jeff will leave your stream so that he can put in for it, and then what we do is we just don't bring him back. so if we ever want to just
Do
get
an
rid of Jeff,
off-world giveaway?
we'll do a giveaway, and then we'll just not bring him back on screen.
Got him.
Yeah,
He brought me back. Back.
he did. But you might not be so lucky with us. All right, what did you get there, Jeff?
So I'm building Marvel's Nemesis. So I got the AOA Gambit in.
Is that the thing with the skull head?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
giant.
What color is it?
Cosmic Voltor.
Looks like it's red.
It's like a amber red. Yeah. Prince Gijor is in the house.
Yes.
From Shadows of the Empire.
The best events ever in Star Wars history.
Yes, that's like my number one favorite expanded universe legacy.
I'm going to disagree.
Whatever they want to call it now.
I feel like when Captain Kirk fought Khan was quite possibly the best Star Wars thing.
That was pretty
ever
good.
happened.
That
Yeah.
was Spaceballs.
Oh, my bad. I get those confused.
Anything else? Oh,
Oh,
the
I need to get that
Shredder.
guy. I
Super
need that
Shredder.
guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah. If I was you, I would definitely keep buying this stuff instead of a dragon. That would be my suggestion.
Okay.
Makes good sense.
And then now we're to Toylanta, so I picked up a Tangier.
Okay.
Very cool.
Not
Alright.
PowerCon. Or it was a PowerCon. or was it a
PowerCon 2 years ago.
Mini PowerCon.
Yeah.
Power Up, they call it.
I heard they were trying to give those away by the end of PowerCon.
No, that was the McFarlane Black Adams.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
that is true.
ATL 25.
nice.
You mean not Roadblock?
Not Robot.
Gotcha.
Another Barbarian.
Nice.
Got to buy those up while you can, man. That figure is.
If I go to a show, like if I go to every show that I plan to go this year, I should have 4 to 5 Barbarians by the end of all the shows. So I
think I
pick
just
up
want
one
like
every
one
show.
more, maybe one, maybe two.
I was only able to get one from a ski con, but I gave it away because that's what heroes do.
It's
Okay.
true.
So
Shielded Desera.
It's cool to take his armor off and put it on your legendary barbarian.
I know, that's the plan. He's gonna be a naked lizard.
Oh, also, Jeff, you mentioned you picked up some AWOC figures. They slashed their prices, y'all.
They did big sale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, no, I mean that's going to be the prices going forward, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Jordan,
Those
let me know
are
if I'm
new
wrong.
show prices.
Yeah.
New show prices, so like the regular
Nude
prices stay
show.
the same, but when they're at a show, it's cheaper.
Yep.
No. When they're at a nude show, the prices are cheaper.
Nude shows, okay.
Nude.
They make most of their money in singles there.
This man gets it.
Jason, bienvenue.
Ooga.
Alright.
These were $10.
Okay, so on the older
apiece.
ways.
So I was like, I'll buy them $10.
That is I honestly really enjoyed that He-Man, but
I like that Skeletor.
the battle armor He-Man that came out like around the same time has a beard. I think that head looks better on that He-Man.
Got some thunderstorms here.
Mm.
That was some loud thunder.
Is that like a code name for farting?
No, it's loud thunder. Actually, I'm looking to see. I think Buddy's hiding somewhere.
Purple guy.
Purple guy.
Gaga.
Okay.
Weapons pack for the ray guns.
Who makes it? Is this the McFarlane one?
McFarlane one.
Oh,
gotcha.
Okay.
Because he can't make guns for DC.
Nope.
Couldn't, but now he is.
Really? Which characters come with a gun now?
Grim Knight. The
I don't
Grim
even know
Knight.
who that is.
And it's,
but okay.
It's an offshoot of Batman, and it's now going to be in the 2-pack with the Croc, Killer Croc.
Oh, okay.
You find out McFarlane's all pissed, being like, "You give the DC license to itself, you guys. I do what I want."
Yeah. I'll put actual guns in it with real ammo.
Basically,
Real ammo.
a lot of people have been saying on the McFarlane front that he's just gonna do whatever he wants in for the next year and see how it goes.
He should. Why not? Spam it out there.
I know. I ordered my Dr. Fate and my Superman, so I'm good with that.
Curtis. Hell yeah, that Dr. Fate is awesome.
I did that.
I'm gonna have to customize it though, because he doesn't come with a okay. So on the card that comes with it, let me hold on. I gotta take over for a second here, Jeff. On the card that comes with it, it's got like the pose of Dr. Fate where he's got like his hand, he's like casting, he's like open hand casting, right? And he doesn't come with an open fucking hand. Like that is a signature, him casting with the open hand. And he's got one like gripping hand and I think one fist. And I'm like, come on, man, you couldn't throw an extra hand in there. So I got to customize that. But anyway, sorry, Jeff. Tangent.
Curtis, can I help you? Have you checked out the Mezco Dr. Fate that comes with like all the hands?
Yeah, the one that's wearing pajamas and looks like shit. Yeah.
Book. Oh, he doesn't look like shit.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and costs way more than $24. Yes, I have.
Get what you pay for, no, man.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna get I think I was looking at it today, and McFarlane's got like a grayscale Blue Beetle that has extra hands that's like $16. So I'm gonna pick that up for parts.
And Blue Beetle has the right gesturing hand.
He's got 2 open hands.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Blue Beetle really needs those open hands for his casting.
Yeah, it's like some sort of special edition one that they did. I don't even know. What does it say here? Black and white accent gold label. So
was that BBTS?
Yeah. I don't know. It's at McFarlane store right now for $16.49. So, but anything else, Jeff?
I'm working on my Cosmic Templars. So I picked up the Science Officer.
Oh, nice.
Another Science Officer, and I was gifted a Science Officer by one Chris James. So shout out to Chris James for the second Science Officer this weekend.
Very cool.
Yeah. No.
Atlanta in the last 2 weeks of pickups.
No, William. Just no. Actually, let's switch to Oz. Oz, you're on the clock.
All right, on the clock. One sec, reaching for some stuff here. So I think I showed some of this stuff off possibly last week, but I got this guy at Attorney and James, Joe DeCass, the original not Boba Fett.
Switch him over.
It shows on my screen that he is. Is he not?
Make him big.
Oh, yeah, he is. It must be mine. Mine's lagging.
Oh, okay.
I don't see him as big either.
I'm big enough.
on the stream.
All 4 inches. And
Shout out in the chat. Who's big on your screen right now?
That's right. Put hashtag Oz is big. We got Sir Elijah.
Yeah,
also
I'm looking at it. It's Oz. We're good.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I got those the other weekend, and I got Curtis's big package, which I'm gonna go open up while we're live tonight, and probably take.
You're a fucking tease, man. You said you were gonna play with my package last week.
Curtis.
I know, but I
Yeah.
kept you holding on a whole nother week.
Mm-hmm.
These bad boys came in. Oh yeah.
It's the
Always.
1,000 subscriber big package.
Big package.
Yeah.
Big package.
Mhm.
So I got the graveyard skeletons, and then just today, I got my BBD baby.
Mm.
BBD.
Nice.
That big black Drago. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Drago. Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Big black Drago.
Oh, you're talking something else.
What's
right.
that?
All right. Do we want to see what's in Curtis's package? Curtis, how much?
It's going to take forever. You're gonna be going through that for the rest of the show.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
So
So
go on to the next one.
yeah. Let me. You open it up or start to open it. I'll show mine. I only got a couple things, and then we'll go back to you.
God damn.
So starting off, I got from the Purple Gang Gang.
Hey, that's
helped
us.
me out to get a not Roadblock. Who I don't know if I'm being honest. I think it kind of looks like Roadblock, but
No, it's not Roblox.
kind of
Heavy duty.
Roadblock. Yeah,
Heavy duty.
little heavy duty Roadblock. It looks like,
Heavy
but
duty.
I hear it's not Roadblock. But anyway, the camo on this, man, Sherry did such a good job. This thing looks awesome. Just a cool figure. While the exclusive parts are not something I absolutely needed, I did appreciate getting one of these early just to kind of get it in hand and see it. But really, really awesome thing, man. I love it. So there's a few bonus items in there, but I'm not at liberty to show those at this point in time. So some dick pics and things like that.
Yes.
And then I got from McFarlane one of his newer releases.
Thank you, Russell.
This is the Azrael Batman Nightmare Edition. So yeah, this is really cool. I like this. I was pretty happy to get that. So I had missed out on the blue version that they did. I know they've got a red one coming, but yeah, this one's super cool, and I was able to score it. So I was pretty happy with that.
That is badass.
Yep. And the card that it comes with also doubles as a certificate of authentication with a little Toddy Mac signature on there. It's not a real signature, but still. Apparently there's only 5,700 of these made. So
Did he corroborate that?
he might have coagulated it for all I
There
know.
it is.
So
That's important.
yeah. All right, Oz, we're back to you. Any initial thoughts on the large 1,000 subscriber package?
There's a ton of shit. Chris. I'm still just scraping stuff off the top.
I like thoughts.
Yeah. So of course I knew you were sending this. You sent that picture of it.
Yep.
Freaking love these guys. For those that don't know, this is the sketchbook concept of Grizzlor and Hordak before they had their final looks.
I need to pull up this comment real quick. Onryu says from Batman Nightfall. That is correct. From the character came out from there.
Yeah.
But this one is specifically and it says on here, you can't see it, the Nightmare Edition.
Nightmare
So
Edition.
that's what this one is. But anyway, yeah.
All
right,
Black and gold. Just
So you also had this new for 2020 He-Man was in there, still on card. Actually, that's really cool because Boojaboo, 3D printer and customizer, just put up on his Patreon some every once in a while he'll put up some of his parts that he normally sells the files for. He'll put them up free for Patreon members. And he did Conan the Adventurer, so that Conan cartoon from the 90s.
Oh, snap.
You take those parts from that, like the headpiece, the crotch piece. You're gonna pull He-Man's crotch off, and you're gonna put Conan's
Whoa,
crotch on.
oh, can we hear that one more time? What are you gonna
We
do?
got technical.
We're gonna pull He-Man's crotch off,
Wow.
and we're gonna
Ooga.
put Conan's crotch in there. In there.
Timbers.
Darla's giving me one of these.
Oh yeah, oh
That's
yeah.
a spicy meatball.
That's a Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
Almost.
All right.
What about Jason Momoa? No, Jason Momoa.
he doesn't count.
That
That's
wasn't a horrible
That's Aquaman.
movie.
He's too busy fucking fish.
He's gonna be Lobo.
he
We
better
hope.
be Lobo.
Gonna be Lobo.
I would love to see him as Lobo.
Can
Okay.
you fuck fish in space?
Ooh,
Hey,
good
I'm pretty
question.
sure you can do whatever the fuck you want in space because ain't nobody there to tell you no.
Wow, I like space.
Yeah.
All right. So then we got these are all kind of chilling on the top. These are the mega little mini figs, Masters of the Universe. So we got the He-Man, Beastman 2-pack there with some extra weapons. Got Moss Man, and he's not flocked. He's not flocked. We got Prince Adam.
Nice.
Mm.
We got Stratos, not the naked edition, but he's rocking the blue pubes on his chin.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Bluebeard Stratos.
Bluebeard Stratos. Pretty rare deal.
Chimpanzees.
Hands down, one of my all-time favorite characters of all. Freaking Scareglow. Oh yeah.
I like Scareglow.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And then we got this sweetness right here. We got the Mistress of Mischief, Evelyn. Hell to the yeah. All right,
She
so now
I would argue
Wow.
the best number 2 in all of villainy in cartoons.
without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes more competent than the leader. Let's just
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, she's a bad bitch.
Now there's 2 more boxes inside here that I gotta actually take a look in. Let's see what we got in here. So we got some Ziploc baggies, folks. Some Ziploc.
Ooh, decent sealed undies.
We got some undies left in
Raised
here.
fresh.
It's like some
Yeah.
older Motu. Got to replace some He-bands.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
Some of the stuff that you're going to encounter. Oh gosh, what's the line that they did down in South America? The
Fuerza T.
Fuerza T. So at one point, I was going to make my own version of the Fuerza T figures because they're like super expensive to buy. And so there's, if I remember right, all of the parts that you would need to make the Fuerza T are in there. I just never got around to it.
Never did.
But there's a lot of extra. It's basically fodder from my Motu customizing days.
Got you.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot here. We got another Stratos.
Yeah.
But
It's a lot of bullshit, is what it is.
Well, thanks, Curtis. Thank you for
Yeah.
dropping your bullshit on me.
But if you are a Motu customizer or you know a Motu customizer, there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah. I
But
can
yeah, the
definitely
ones-
see.
So the ones that I have in the bag like are separated to be the Fuerza T, like I was putting the parts together.
Yeah, because he's in the Fuerza team. I can't remember any of their names, but like Beastman's all black, but he's rocking like the merman armor. Saw you had the startup.
Oh,
with, like,
I'm
the
sorry,
pistol.
I didn't even notice, but we've got a hand up. Yeah, Van.
Yeah, for those of us that didn't watch a whole lot of wrestling, what does Booker T have to do with He-Man?
Nothing.
He rolled up, spin-a-roonied his ass, called him a
There it is.
sucker, and rolled out.
Yeah.
So
and
what is
then he got
Fuerza
it canceled
T,
when he accidentally said the you know what word.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Schwarzenegger.
I noticed you already did the hard work with the He-Man there. You got him with the hit him with the goatee. What did they
I
call
think
him?
that was
Titanium?
I think that was a first version because I've got one in the garage that's finished. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That was
but,
me trying to sculpt the little goatee on him. Yeah.
dude. You got it on there. It looks good. Oh man, I'm gonna have to figure out how to finish these off. Yeah, because Fuerza T was just again, it
Full
was
on the
all
cross.
existing Masters of the Universe parts, and basically doing
Curtis
something
gave you
new.
projects.
Yeah.
Curtis
Well,
gave
if
you a
you,
bunch of
if you
projects.
decide to finish them off, or if you send them to somebody else that's going to finish them off, I've also
Oh my
got
goodness.
card backs for them and clamshells so that you can actually make them appear like they're brand new.
Okay.
Damn.
Raise your
then
hand
I
if
got-
you want to finish off He-Man.
Oh,
After you
and
pull up the garage.
I got some more origin parts on here. I'm surprised we ever have anybody watch this show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I closed
Curtis,
my
thank
eyes
you.
a long time ago.
It's just a whole bunch of Motu stuff that was in my garage that I was like, while I'm gonna send Oz a package, I'm just gonna give all of this stuff to him as well. So
Right.
Yeah.
random heads from freaking
yeah.
dispensers, from Pez dispensers.
I think that had you opened this on your stream, you probably would have had 3 or 4 Motu customizers in there going, I need that, I'll take that.
You know, I'll still take orders. Like I'll do a 24-hour stream next weekend trying to give half of this away.
Awesome.
No,
Really?
this is pretty cool though. A lot of cool vintage stuff in here that I haven't looked at in a while. Because I mean, I've got some vintage, but
It was mostly me passing you my junk. So
yeah, I can tell. I can tell.
but there are some finished figures in there. You know, you got an Origin He-Man, you got some Mega Blocks. So
Right?
Yeah.
No, thank you, Curtis. This is really cool, actually.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I wanted to put a lot of work in that, just like you did for your 1,000 subscribers. You know,
Right. A lot of fucking work. You just find out where that magic button is that Greg has.
All the content that you created, you know, the recordings that you did, the editing,
the hours and hours of editing.
Editing.
That's what I do.
Self-promotion that you've done, you know.
Well, that part's not that part is 100% true. There's a reason I used to be all over Toy Tube. Shit, got the blue axe from the accessory pack in here. Fuck yeah.
Very, very good.
That's
so
awesome.
What else? What do we got? Do we want to hit the primary objective? Do we want to go to theaters? Do we want to listen to me bitch? What's on the agenda?
Bitch Fest first.
Do we want to do the bitch fest first? Do we
Legendary
go into that and then
No,
maybe
we
have
always start with the bitch fest. This
All right,
is
let's
off-world tradition.
Okay. All right. Curtis, you should embiggen yourself for this.
Okay, I'm digging myself.
I'll wait.
And you know, listen, I try to, for the most part, every now and then you'll see me throw out a little smarmy comment, but for the most part, I try to stay out of the bullshit on the interwebs, especially on the Facebook, the face place, as I call it. But there's been a lot of fucking bullshit this week. There's just a lot of bullshit. You know, first off, this, you know, so all right, Wednesday, we're in the last week of the Dragon campaign. Jeremy's doing his show. It's the last show he's going to do before the campaign. The next show, the campaign's over. So it's the last chance that he's got to talk about any last stretch goals, to promote it, whatever. And while he's doing the show, Joe Vasapolo is messaging him with pictures of, you know, what he's working on for this extra stretch goal that we shouldn't even get, right? Because like they already had stretch goals going to 4,000. But then they slid everything up and they could have just said, hey, it stops at 3,500. But they said, we're going to throw in an extra thing if we get to 4,000, which is free. If you already bought the Dragon, it's free. And so Joe's excited. He's painting it. He's showing it. Cornboy's excited. Treadaway's excited. Jeremy's excited. And all of us are going, man, that sucks. Like, we can't see it. Like, they're all excited, but we can't see it. So everybody's asking, you know, basically begging for an early look at this thing. An early look, which means it's not finished. And so they show a photo from one angle with, you know, none of the extra accessories, that doesn't have the extra head, all this and that. And, you know, the people that were there, I didn't see one person in the chat of that live stream that was like, oh, wow, that looks terrible, or I don't want it, or this is not good. Didn't see one person in there. Everybody was excited. But then some people had snapped some photos of that and put it on the Cabal. And next thing you know, all these people come out of the fucking woodwork people that you never see, people that don't comment on people's photos. They don't contribute anything. They don't add anything to the group. They're wastes of space. And then they come in there and they're like, well, this looks like dog shit. This doesn't move the needle for me. This isn't going to make me want to push to get to 4,000. It looks like mustard and blah, blah, blah. And my thoughts on that is go fuck yourself. Like, that's my thought. Because first off, they didn't have to give you anything. Okay. They didn't have to give you shit. Second of all, expecting that you're going to love everything that they put out is ridiculous. Like, I am unapologetically in love with some of the stuff that Todd McFarlane does, right? But at WonderCon this past week, when we were going over the stuff that he showed, he had like 60 reviews. I think I liked 2 of them, right? I like 2 out of 60. And that's one of my favorite toy lines. You're not going to like everything, but guess what? It's fucking free. All right. If you ordered the Dragon, it's not costing you anything extra. If it gets to 4,000, you get that free. If you like it, that's awesome. Put it on your shelf. It's great. If you don't like it, guess what? Somebody else does like it and they will buy it from you. So it's like you're sitting there saying the Horseman gave you an envelope full of cash, right? For free. Didn't cost you anything. You already were buying something else and they said, oh, by the way, here's an envelope full of cash. And you open it up, and it could have anywhere from $50 to $300 in there. You really don't know how much because you don't know how much this figure is going to sell for. And yet you're going, I don't like the mustard. I don't like this. It's not moving the needle for me. Yeah,
Curtis, can they take that envelope full of cash and go pay tariffs with it?
They could probably go play tariffs. And that's the other thing. All these people fucking fear-mongering out there and, what's going to happen with this? And am I going to have to pay? You've already paid for the Dragon. Okay, if you've already placed your order, it's not like Horsemen are going to come back to you and go, hey, by the way, that Dragon you bought? We're going to need like an extra $400 for that Dragon because guess what? Tariffs. You've already paid for it. So shut the fuck up. And they haven't announced anything as far as price changes. We've gone through 10 years of the Horsemen. You don't think there's been tariff changes in 10 years? You don't think there's been different taxes? You don't think that price of goods have gone up through the COVID years? And yet, their pricing, for the most part, has not changed. It's stayed the same. Now, I'm not saying that it's definitely going to stay the same and it's not going to move, but until they tell you that their pricing has changed, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Well, this toy line did this and this Kickstarter is now. I don't give a fuck because that's not the Horsemen. They're not some Johnny-come-lately bullshit fucking toy manufacturer that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, that's looking for an out because something else is going on, and they go, oh, well, we can't do this because this is going to raise prices, blah, 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 blah. That's not what's happening here. And if you want to go to those fucking pages and you want to talk about their product when they are either pushing back stuff or canceling it or delaying it, go to those fucking pages. But don't go to the pages for the Horsemen fucking being afraid and all this kind of stuff when they haven't even said anything about prices going up. So,
and they let you lock in the shipping now.
What's that?
I know a lot of people complain about the shipping prices. One thing I've noticed, especially ordering a lot of imports, and hell, you mentioned Kickstarters, being able to lock in your shipping now, because shipping almost always will go up over time. And so I get that it's a big pill to swallow on top of the taxes, but to lock in your shipping for that now, that's pretty cool.
And you can sit there and argue about the Horseman model and whether you like it or not or this and that. But the thing is, once you've pre-ordered and you've paid for it, that's it. You just got to wait for the shit to come in, right? Like you've already put your money in. You don't have to worry about the future. You don't have to worry about what next year is going to bring on the calendar or next month, because guess what? That's just big calendar trying to run your life. That's big calendar trying to tell you that, yeah, maybe things are okay today, but tomorrow it may be bad, and next week it may be worse, and next month it's going to get terrible, and by next year it's going to be the worst you've ever seen. That's just big calendar, man. That's just big calendar getting to you. Don't fall for that shit, folks. Don't fall for it. Find stuff today to enjoy, to love about life today, because you don't know. There may not be a tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow is just a construct in your head, man. So, yeah. What else? What else did I want to bitch about?
The new Devil May Cry Netflix series.
I don't think I've seen that.
The weather?
Fuck that shit.
Well, okay, so how about the weather? Okay,
Get him,
so-
Jeffrey.
so Darla's sitting there coughing up a lung earlier, and I'm like, doing the whole, what do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want? What do you want? It's like that whole thing that husband and wives do.
Coconut chicken,
Right. And no, she didn't. She wouldn't say that because she won't. Like, she's like, well, I am hungry, but I don't want you. And then stop. Like, you don't want me what? Like she doesn't want to inconvenience me. It's like, I don't mind being inconvenienced. What I mind is you not making a decision. Make a decision. What do you want? And so then in my brain, I go, I know what she wants. She wants coconut chicken because we don't get it very often. It's over by where my work is. And I work from home, so I don't usually go there. But I'm like, I'm going to go get her the coconut chicken. So I'm like, I don't know. It's about a 20-minute drive. I'm about 18 minutes into the 20-minute drive. And all of a sudden, the fucking skies just fills up, completely dark clouds, and boom, just starts the hardest rain I've ever seen or felt in my life. And so, yeah, I got to run into the place to get the thing, come out, bags getting soaked. I mean, it's those paper, the Chinese food bags where it's like the paper bags and it's getting soaked and it's got the containers inside. And then I get back to the house and we've got a detached garage. So I've got to go from the garage to the house and it is just like pouring down rain. So yeah, fuck the weather too. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. I forgot about that one.
Hey, what's coconut chicken though?
So it's basically like breaded, almost like popcorn chicken, but then they cover it with this like coconut sauce. It's really, really good. So
it does sound good.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, here's another one. You're just a fucking shill, people. Okay, listen. Just
Not
because somebody
gets
likes something that you don't doesn't mean that they're a shill. Okay, just because somebody gets access to certain things that you don't get access to doesn't mean that they're a shill. If that person was telling you information that they didn't believe because they're getting paid to do it, then I would say, okay, that's a shill. But, and I'm gonna throw out names here. Dorclair is not a shill. Okay?
He's in the chat.
Dorclair loves the Mythic Legions line. He loves Figure Obscura. When he does a review and it looks like he's being overly positive, it's because he likes this shit. Okay. So that's why he's being positive. And I've watched his reviews, and if there's a quality control issue, he says, this is a quality control issue. This one would have made my top 5 had it not been for the fact that it's got some loose joints in this place and that place. Like, he calls out that shit. It's not like he just ignores that and doesn't say it. So just because you want to hate on something and he doesn't mean that you get to just call him a shill and say that he's a this and that. That's just stupid. You're making yourself look imbecilic. Like, you're just stupid. Yeah.
Can I give you a topic and you just go like ham on it?
Hold on, let me make sure I got everything here. Fear mongering, mustard yellow, tariffs.
Explain to me big calendar.
4,000 stretch goal.
Big calendar, man.
Big
Living
calendar.
in your head, rent free.
Yeah, well, I talked about big calendar a little bit too, but yeah, go ahead. I think I'm good, man.
To answer Jeffrey, turn into Purple Gang live stream tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Bay Theater pregame show. And you'll learn all you need to know about Big Calendar and wet socks. Curtis, go.
Wet socks?
Fuck wet socks.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I mean, I don't like having wet socks. Like when you step in a puddle and it gets inside your shoe. Like first of all, I'm gonna tell you something that I was told a while back. There's 3 things that you don't shortchange. You always make sure you have a good running car. You always make sure that you have a really comfortable bed, and you make sure that you have a good pair of shoes. If you take care of those 3 things, rest of your life is going to be pretty fucking good. Okay. But yeah, don't be going around with cheap shoes that as soon as you step into a puddle or something, it's going into your sock. That's going to suck. But what's worse, okay, and this is a me thing, so I'm not putting this on you guys. This is on me. But what's worse than wet socks is people going around barefoot. I ain't trying to see nobody's toes. I ain't trying to see nobody's feet. I don't need the pictures. I don't need whatever you're the OnlyFans thing. Like you can keep your feet. I don't need that. And listen, I've been on this show plenty of times and talked up Saturday morning toy collector. The double jointed on Saturday morning, I think it's one of them. You know, I think it's my favorite show on YouTube. It's just really good. But I saw Schmerber at MuskeCon. He's walking around with his toes out, fucking wearing sandals, walking around with his toes out. And then I see pictures from fucking Toylanta, and guess what? Mark's walking around with toes out too. You got both of those motherfuckers 2 weeks back to back going to 2 different cons at 2 different parts of the country, showing them toes in two different places. Like, come on, guys. Like, I love your show, but you got to cover them toeses. You can't be having them out.
What if they had a fresh pedicure?
I don't care. I don't care what it's not a matter of the feet being, you know, having corns on it or stinking or looking bad or having, like, sometimes they'll have like those little hairs on the toes, like that kind of creep you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even talking about any of that. I'm just talking about feet like, we don't need to see your feet. Like, if you're at the beach, I'm not going to tell you got to wear socks to the beach. That would be ridiculous. Okay. Yeah. But if you're at a toy convention, that ain't the beach, all right?
What about?
I don't expect you to. I don't expect to see you in a bikini. I don't expect to see you in just swim trunks, and I definitely don't expect to see your toeses.
What about D13 Jesus?
Wait a minute. While we're on the topic of toes out and showing off your feet, look. Don't do it for free, folks. Don't go out here parading your feet for free.
Yeah,
they got apps. You can sell that shit. Make money off of it.
Listen. First off, I don't want to see it, okay? But there's other people, to Oz's point, that really want to see it. Okay?
They want to see them.
So if you're just you got to show off your toeses, at least do it in a way that you're actually supporting yourself. You got a dragon to pay for, right?
Look, everybody's bitching about tariffs.
Pictures and make your dragon money, but don't bring it to the con. I don't need to see it at the con. So, yeah.
So what about D13 Jesus?
What about him?
He wears sandals.
I don't really here. Okay. And I know, let me just go off. And once again, this is me, folks. I ain't telling you how you should believe, but I'm telling you what my thoughts are. I know people give people shit when they do the whole socks with sandals thing. Right. But I'd rather see socks with sandals than those fucking toeses out. I'd rather see, give me those socks with sandals rather than the toeses. Okay. I don't need to see that. So, you know, and did Jesus have his toes out? Yeah, Jesus did have his toes out, but he's also walking around in the desert. Okay, you guys aren't. You're at a toy convention in air conditioning. Cover them fucking footses.
Hey, you know what Jesus didn't have?
What's that?
Wet socks.
That's
he
true.
Walked on water.
That's true. Maybe the bottom was wet, but that'd be about it. So,
heard he was a 9 Inch Nails fan.
Yeah. So that's it. Like, exactly. Hashtag contos. We don't need contos.
I hear that increases your chance of catching con crud by like 75%.
It's possible.
That makes sense.
And here's the thing too about double jointed. Like, I love those guys. I support those guys so much. But when I'm looking at the pictures of people at MuskeCon, there's only one motherfucker that had his toes out, and that was Greg. The only motherfucker I saw with his toes out, right? And then you look at the pictures of Toylanta. I only saw one motherfucker with his toes out, and that was Mark. That's the only person's toes in any of the pictures that I saw was Mark's toes. Guys, you got to cover him. Got to cover that shit.
He was comfortable. He's living his best life. Curtis.
Everybody out there, make sure.
Listen,
there's no pictures of your toes because Curtis is looking at everybody's feet.
I might be comfortable just walking around in my boxer briefs, but you know where I'm not. You know where I'm not going to do that is at a toy convention. I'm not going to walk around in my boxer briefs at a toy convention. You know why? Because it's a fucking toy convention.
Oh, I've wore far worse at a toy convention.
I'm just saying.
Uh-oh. We got some more toes in the chat there, Curtis.
Yeah, I saw Tanya was pro toe.
Pro toe.
Yeah, she said she had her toes out all weekend. I hope you were at the beach. You know, I hope you weren't doing that at Toylanta because that's messed up. So let's see. Curtis doesn't like the beach. I actually hate the beach. I hate the sand. I don't like water. I don't like
Curtis wrote Anakin's monologue on sand.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. It gets everywhere. It's everywhere. You know what? It's so fucking coarse too. Like, why does it have to be so coarse?
It's like rubbing sandpaper on you, right?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Pumice stone.
That's what I was thinking, Jeff.
Curtis making clicking noise when he walks across hardwood floor barefoot. You will never. You will never, ever, ever, ever. See me
Everybody's got to
walking
send in
around
a super
barefoot.
chat. He
Why do
charges
those-
extra for that.
Why did those socks look like you ran them across your ass crack?
Probably because I wear them all the time. I never take my socks off. Like I don't know, maybe once or twice that my kids have ever seen my feet. And we have a rule in this house. Darla, what's the rule in the house? No bare feet downstairs. If you want your bare feet out, you go up to your fucking room. Because if you're down here in the bottom floor of the house, you better have some socks on, or you better hide those damn feet. Because if I see them, you're in trouble.
Jordan, if you're in the chat, we're road tripping to the Ackermans. Just saying.
Yeah.
And we're not bringing any fucking shoes.
Yeah. Look, listen to what this guy
You
knows.
don't have to have
Knows
shoes,
what he's
just
talking
have
about. Think of
socks.
all the
Oh, no,
crud
none of those
that your
either.
toes will trap between them if you wear them. And come on, this is no.
That's how you get scabies, folks.
Yeah, that's gross.
You know what's worse
Gina
than that?
and I had our toes out. That's just wrong. It's wrong.
So when y'all go to these cons, are y'all also wearing flip-flops when you take a shower in the hotel rooms?
No, that's not out in the con. Like
Dude.
you talking about when you leave the hotel room or while you're
no,
in
I'm
the...
talking about showering in hotels. Do you wear shower shoes?
No, I just
Why not?
because I got to clean my feet before I put them back into socks.
So you think the floor of that shower is like pristine?
Well, I wash the shower before I take a shower.
Oh, so you bring like bleach and scrub brushes and all that?
No, I don't need to go crazy. I'm not one of them germaphobe guys. So,
Okay.
yeah, Darla says it doesn't stop the kids, but I kick their ass upstairs. She knows that. She knows that. Like they'll be sitting on the couch and they try to rat on each other too. Well, Alexa's got her feet out too, but they're covered up by a pillow. I don't see them. That's the thing. She may not have socks on, but she got her feet under the pillow because she's smart. You're dumb. Get your ass upstairs.
What about Buddy? Does he have on puppers socks?
He's got little doggy feet. I think doggy feet are way cleaner than human feet. I think that's proven.
It's because they lick them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you lick your feet, it's okay to walk around in Curtis's house without.
Exactly.
That's what I'm hearing.
Curtis, your toes need to breathe fresh air. No, they don't. They really don't. I mean, I was gonna say I don't sleep with socks on, but sometimes I do when my toesies get cold. But most times, they get to breathe while I'm sleeping. So,
Oh snap! Jordan said we got a footsie road trip to Missouri.
there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, do not send me feet pics. So, and that's okay. So that's another thing. Like when certain people are into like when people are like Glyos, which I've got like 5 Glyos sitting in front of me. I like some Glyos, but I ain't crazy about Glyos. Like I ain't, saying I ain't one of those people like I got to get every single one. And there's certain people that you'll see that they like something. Like we're on Oz's Clubhouse, right? Pretty much every week on Oz's they're talking about Motu Origins and stuff. And I appreciate that those guys love those things. It's not my thing. But the thing that I tell myself that it's like it's okay for somebody else to like something that I don't, because some people are into feet. And I'll never understand that. I will never get how some people, not only are they okay with feet being out, but they're like, what them feet do,
It sounds to me like Curtis got a bad foot.
Like
job.
some people don't clip that, Jordan, but you know what I'm saying? What them feet do. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are like that. They're like all excited about it. And I'm like, if there's motherfuckers that can be excited about feet, then there's somebody out there that'll like Savage Crucible. That's all I'm saying. So that's it,
That new
So
shield.
that's how I justify it in my head. So, yeah, that's how I justify it in my head. So there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darla, I hope you get to feeling better. I've got to call it a night.
You've
I've
met
gotta
your
wait.
contractual obligation.
My contractual obligation has been satisfied.
He's
Thank
going
you for
to
having me on.
regulated enough.
He's going to
for us
get
tonight.
feet pics right now. I guarantee
Yeah,
it.
no.
So.
Oh no! Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna go take some feet pics.
Come on, 6 more minutes. You'll be making an hour.
Oh,
G
yeah,
says
let's
I
do
need to
that.
do
I
a
do
show
wanna
with
make it
Michael
to an hour.
Xavier. Is Xavier anti feet being out?
Oh yes.
Oh,
very
well,
much.
yeah, I need to talk to that.
Anti-bathroom.
When people are
anti-
taking pics of their toys, that's what triggers it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you're sending people pics, like, you know, for proof the condition of the toy and stuff like that. He's like, I don't want to see your damn feet, and don't you dare let me see that you took that picture in a bathroom. Like, yeah,
Well,
Xavier got full on triggered during one of the Mythic Enablers
before
episodes. It was
before
fucking
you
hilarious.
before you run, Van, I just got to tell you one more thing. Like, you know, so my dog Buddy, he's a dude dog, right?
He's a good
Like,
puppers.
he's not a chick dog, he's a dude dog, right?
Mm.
But he doesn't do the whole lift up your leg to pee thing, right? Like this motherfucker just walk out to, like, we've got this like mulchy area out back, and he'll just walk up to it and he starts peeing, and he's basically peeing on his front paws. Like, he's, you know, because like the stream's going forward and he's peeing on his front paws, and then he just kind of walks that shit off and comes in the house. I would rather have him with his pee paws walking around my floor than these kids with their dirty ass bare feet. So there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. All right. Well, thanks, Van. Appreciate you joining.
Thanks, man.
I haven't made it to the full hour yet. Jeffrey was
Oh, okay. All right. Well, in the meantime, we've got Kenzo joining us. What's up, Kenzo?
Man, I walked in on something crazy, didn't I?
Oh,
you
yeah,
sure
yeah.
did, Kenny.
The first thing I-
Let's go off world.
As soon as I
This
stepped
wants
in,
to
I
see your
heard
feet.
he was peeing. I was like, what the hell?
We're just talking about peeing and feet and stuff like
European.
that.
European.
Uh, Rob, he is a half Corgi, half Rhodesian Ridgeback. So there you go.
And all good puppers.
Kenny,
And all good puppers. He is a great puppers. So
I don't know if you were watching when I was going through it, but I was playing with Curtis's package, and
Whoa,
you know those
clip that
parts
one,
I was just asking you to print off for me, right? Look what Curtis just sent.
Ooh,
I think
look at
that's-
that.
that's
the perfect,
perfect.
the perfect base for it. Hell
Look
yeah.
perfect. I was just telling him how I'm gonna grab He-Man's crotch and I'm gonna rip it off, and then we're gonna pop the Conan's crotch on there.
Dude, it's weird. I think it's just like a pair of shorts. Like, I think you put it over.
So I don't actually have to
You have to pull
grab
the
his
legs
crotch?
off. Well,
Okay,
you
I
can
gotta pull
grab
the
his
legs
crotch
off.
and pull his legs off, and then put the diaper on, and then put his legs back on.
Okay, so just got to put the diaper on him. Okay.
So I've already started receiving feet pics. So please, folks, please, I beg you, for the love of God,
Oh, the
do not be sending me your feet pics. Okay, I don't. Yeah,
I hate
everybody
feet,
flood
man. I
his
hate
DMs.
feet so bad.
hangnail for you, Curtis.
no, but don't get yourself a ban from my Facebook. you know.
Whatever a foot fetish is, I'm the exact opposite. I cannot
Exactly.
stand feet. I have a
Exactly.
phobia of feet. I hate feet.
It's crazy.
I've never
Geez,
been
I
a
love
foot
Curtis
guy.
so much. Love you too, G. Appreciate that. So that was the segment of the show where I just bitch about things. Before we finish up, anything else anybody want me to bitch about before we go?
Kenny, you got a topic for Curtis to bitch about? You're new to the show, so
What's bothering you that Curtis will go off on?
No, tariffs.
That's deep
No.
cut, big dog.
You can hit me with some Super 7. I always
Lots
love
of
going off
toys.
with Brian Flynn.
oh yeah, you know what? I heard you got some stuff coming in, Curtis. You got some stuff coming in. You want to bitch about it before you even open it? That'd be cool.
No, because the stuff I got coming in, I'm going to be pretty excited about. That's the Vac Metal Silverhawks. That should be awesome. After he sold me the shitty fucking ones that he said he couldn't Vac Metal. So
Right.
yeah.
Just liquidy
Yeah.
glitter plastic.
You can
The
bitch about
not
me bragging
Silverhawks.
about my Crystal Castle so much.
Wait a minute, you've got a Crystal Castle?
Printed.
Hold on, I've not heard about this thing.
It's the new Mattel Creations cartoon collection. Not really.
Ooh, very nice.
It's the not cartoon collection.
You know, it's
We're gonna have
pretty.
to hold it
It's
next
pretty
to Cat
cool,
Play.
but it
It's a
would be
chick cartoon, and
it'd be a lot better if it lit up. I'm just saying. Like,
Oh,
like,
oh,
make it-
oh! Funny you say that.
what?
Isn't Crystal Castle where you get those little hamburgers?
I think it's where you
Yes,
get
With
meth.
the little onions.
Yeah,
Totally
You
right.
can get
Yeah.
those in the freezer aisle now.
I like Matt.
Oh,
Oh, dun dun dun!
whoops.
Dude,
Look
you
at that,
repurposed
multiple
a
colors
fleshlight.
and everything. This is crazy, folks.
That's gorgeous, dude.
Now that's a Crystal Castle. That looks like that the thing in Superman 2 where he gets like his powers from the chamber.
Right.
Yeah.
What's a crystal castle for those of us who don't know?
From
It belongs to.
Oh, I do know that. Okay, yeah,
Princess
my bad,
of
dude.
Power.
Mhm.
And since they're so connected and whatever, I never collected it as a kid, of course, but why not?
Why
Good
do you
idea.
say of course? Is there something wrong with people that did collect it as a kid?
Yeah, back then there was. Not
My,
now.
my sister collected it. What's
Yeah.
wrong with
Wow.
that?
My sister had Barbie dolls. They were all too tall to interact because He-Man was so short. Be like Lawrence
Okay.
trying to mac on girls all the time.
I don't know. I thought it was the right size. He-Man came right up to Barbie's crotch. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nothing to bitch about. Everything's good, man. Everything's beautiful.
all
All
right.
right, folks. My contractual obligation has been met. Y'all all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for having me on, Curtis.
Yep.
And
Thank you.
talk to y'all
Thank you,
later.
Yep.
Bye.
Absolutely.
Love
Have
you.
a good one.
Love you
Oh,
back.
look at the
Bye-bye.
balloons. That's awesome.
Bye.
Let's see. Eddie Murphy was picky about toes on Boomer. Yeah, but he was talking about nasty toes. I'm not even talking about nasty toes. Like, I'm not saying
Toes.
that, Tanya or Gina or Greg or Mark, I'm not saying they got gross toes. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it doesn't matter. You could have the best looking toes. You still don't show them at a con. Like, that's you don't just go walk around with your toes out at a con. Yeah, you just don't do it.
There's one plus side about Legion's Con. We were all there. It was like, November. It was kind of chilly out. People weren't.
Wait a
rocking
minute.
lot of toes.
Wait a minute. Joe's back. Joe.
What?
Hey,
Welcome back.
Joe.
you look
How's it
different
going,
than
fellas?
before.
Yeah, you look different than you were when you started the show.
Mustache is way darker.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hurried so much from work. You can see I still have dirt on my shoulder.
Oh,
That's
nice.
how
Just say you're
motivated
still-
I
you got
was to get here to be with you guys.
We
Smoke
appreciate you
coming
being
off
here.
the shoulders from all the
Mining dirt.
friction.
I have dirt, but that's just because I don't clean myself very well.
Well, obviously I don't either, but
Well, Joe, let me ask you a question. Toes at toy conventions, yes or no? Should they be
No.
out or should they be covered?
I don't want to have an opinion.
Oh, wow.
No, for me personally, I'm not walking around with my feet out
Yeah.
anywhere in public. But that's
For my part, let's just say I have a size 14 foot and
Mhm.
my toes are as long as like my fingers, and it looks like I could just grab something and hang on it with my
You're like a human AWOC figure.
it's not good. It is. I always joke and I say my hand is really big. My second toe is as big as my pinky, which is as big as a lot of people's index finger. So
Wow.
put up your index finger, that's my second toe.
Nice.
So
They're
Yep,
bigger
there you
than
go.
that. The toes
Nice.
are bigger than that.
my toes start earlier. Yeah.
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 That's cool.
So there you go. There's some nasty shit from me.
Let's see. We did toy pickups, Joe. Did you have any toy pickups that you wanted to show?
No.
Okay. And then we went from there straight to I'll get to you, Kenzo. Yep.
One thing.
Oh yeah, we'll get to you in just a second. But we did go into what we were just finishing up, which is my bitch session, where I just vented about different things, like people complaining about a 4,000
I'm
stretch
so
goal.
bummed I missed that.
We bitched about people complaining about tariffs. We bitched about people with their toes out. We bitched about people ripping on Dork Lair, calling him a shill. Did you have anything that you either wanted to bitch about yourself or would like to hear my thoughts on?
I don't really bitch about myself too much.
Okay.
I'm all right.
You're pretty awesome, Joe. Just saying.
On occasion.
Jules a ray of sunlight.
So the only thing, and I've said it before,
Mhm.
so we are middle-aged men collecting toys.
Mhm.
And as middle-aged men collecting toys, I assume that most people collect them because they make them happy.
Mm.
Right? So you're trying to find happiness in this hobby of collecting toys. So why would you want to bring something that doesn't make you happy into it? I just feel like it would be more healthy for collectors that are trying to find joy in collecting toys. If something bothered them, they were like, darn, and then let it go. They moved on and stayed with the part that makes you happy.
They were like, darn, but look how cool this guy is, right?
Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
just saying.
Like
Like,
that. That's super cool.
I don't.
Hey,
I just
Jesse.
don't get it.
Jesse just looks like a floating head.
You know, but it,
You remember those segments on Conan O'Brien in the year 2000?
He looks like
I was thinking Pee
zombie
Wee
from
Herman.
Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Licka high, make a hiney ho.
Did you say lick a hiney?
Oh,
Yeah.
you totally
Like
did.
a hiney.
Yes, I did.
Those are gross, but eating ass is okay.
Yeah. So enjoy your toys, folks. Don't worry about tariffs. Don't worry about politics. Don't worry about taxes. Don't worry about shipping. Don't worry about stretch goals. Just enjoy your toys.
I
All
can
right?
give my views on that stuff too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I look at the increase of prices of anything that I buy.
That's not going to happen, B-Dog. Oh, please, no.
Oh,
Oh,
He closed it out.
Jesse had some sort of technical difficulties.
He's in a tunnel.
I tried, V-Dog. I tried.
All right,
So
Joe, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sure all of us remember when gas prices got insanely high, right?
Yep.
And did anyone here in this group walk instead of driving? Or did
No.
you just
No,
you
I
did, Oz?
not.
Good for
Yeah,
you,
and
man.
I'm still walking.
But
I
were
don't
you
drive. I
walking
walk
because,
everywhere.
were you walking because of that, or are you walking just because
I
you
was
were
walking because I always walk. I don't drive.
There you go.
So for me, I wasn't gonna walk.
Yeah.
I live in a small town. Everything
don't
is
get a
kind of
choice,
spaced
Joe.
out quite a bit. There's no public
Joe lives in the desert.
transportation.
He can wear bare feet sandals.
No,
Yeah.
no scorpions. You don't want to do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But
Oof.
according
But-
to Curtis's rules, you could because you live in the desert.
You could get away with it.
I'm
Because
just
I'm
saying
not
I ain't
gonna
going to
recommend it.
complain about somebody wearing them in the desert. But if you're wearing them at a con, I'm definitely going to say some shit. So,
Okay. So the idea is I'm not gonna walk,
mm,
right? Instead of driving, even though gas prices were really high, I just paid them and drove where I wanted to go. And
Yeah.
so
I mean,
my
so
thought
basically,
is,
what you're saying and what Jake's saying is you got to make choices in life, right?
well, the choice is like I'm not walking. If a toy comes out and I feel like I have to have it,
Mhm.
I'm just going to pay for it, even
Yeah.
if it's
Right.
more than I wish that it was. That actually happens right now. Sometimes there's a toy and I'm like, damn, that's a lot of money. And then I buy it because I want it. You
Here-
know?
Here's
When you
what
get it, you're happy, right?
here's what I think is missing today. People used to have an inner monologue, right? Like you would, if you weren't with your friends, right? We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have, whatever. So like if you were in a place where your friends weren't there, you didn't have anybody to bounce things off of. You just had thoughts. And when you had thoughts, you just kind of in your own head, you worked it out, right?
Mhm.
I think what you have today is you have people that, like, let's just take the Dragon campaign, for example. You have some folks that, for whatever reason, have decided they aren't going to get a dragon. Could be money, could be space, could be their spouse, whatever it is. For some reason, they can't get a dragon. But they've got to convince themselves that it's okay to not get a dragon because there's something wrong with the dragon.
right.
And they can't do that inside their head. They can't do that with their inner monologue. They've got to do it in the open, on Facebook, and they've got to communicate to everybody that I'm not buying a dragon because it's overpriced. Shipping's too much. They should have included this. The stretch goals are bullshit. This one is mustard. Whatever it is, they've got to throw it all out there and put it out to the world so that somebody else may go, yeah, you're right. That does suck. And I agree with you. And you're justified in feeling the way that you feel. And meanwhile, the person that really likes it and is excited about it, you just completely shit all over the thing that they like. So I guess my thought is go ahead and use your inner monologue. Remember back to the days when we made up we played with our toys, right? You had your He-Mans and you had your Thundercats and Battle Beasts, and you played with them all together. You didn't care about mixing lines and stuff, and you made up these little adventures in your head and you used your imagination. Go back to that time when you were a kid and kind of talk to yourself. It's okay. I know some people are, oh, that guy talks to himself. He's a little crazy. No. It's all right. Talk to yourself, because you don't need to put every thought that you've ever had out there into the world for other people to see, because guess what? Some of your thoughts are fucking stupid. So
Most of their thoughts are stupid.
there you go.
Go ahead, Oz.
So, as somebody who was originally intending to get the dragon, I had to back out. You know what? Shit, that sucks. But you don't see me pissing in everybody's Cheerios that I can't get a fucking dragon and trying to say, oh, it's terrible. You know, it's bullshit. That dragon is fucking beautiful. It is a work of damn art, and everything that's with it is fucking amazing. Let people enjoy it and enjoy it for them. Like for me, dude, I'm happy to be surrounded by so many people that are getting it, because that's just fucking badass. So whatever, like, you know, you don't
I would
gotta
like
get
to
young.
talk about this comment here. Trevor just said, yeah, exactly, Curtis. So that's all he had to say. Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate
He agreed with
that, Trevor.
Yeah.
Gotta get a clip of that.
Hey,
Trevor agreeing with Curtis.
I guess.
but
I
he
guess what
was
I'm
saying
saying
that I don't need to complain about feet. But here's the thing. I'm doing this in this space for me. And if people don't want to hear what I have to say, there's a real easy way to do it. They don't have to fucking come here. Okay. I'm not going to a group where people are fans of that line and going, hey, by the way, you know this thing that you're a fan of and you're in a fan group for? Guess what? It fucking sucks. Right? So,
Yeah. So I guess the bottom line is, if, you know, you think your opinions matter, your parents didn't tell you you weren't special enough. So
there you go.
100%.
Yeah. If you like something, great. If you don't, you don't. That's fine.
and that's okay.
And if you
It's
like
okay.
feet, that's fine. It's okay to like feet. There are plenty of people out there willing to sell you feet pics.
There was a time,
yeah,
there was a
it's not
time
for me.
before credit where if you couldn't afford something, you just couldn't have it. And that was okay. And I think that mindset is sorely lacking. Like, there are plenty of things that I want that I can't afford, you know, that are more expensive than toys that I would like to have and I can't get. And it's fine. I don't complain about it. That's just life.
Yeah, I was looking at something like that today. I was looking at there's a man, I have to backtrack here. So Four Horsemen are doing some interviewing right now when they're going to the different cons. They're doing for like a little documentary thing that they're doing. And when they were asking me, there was one question that they asked me that had me think about my childhood, and they were asking about a toy that kind of, like, if I think back on my childhood, what's one toy that just kind of I remember, and I kind of take that memory with me. And I thought about from the Clash of the Titans line, the Pegasus and Perseus, like really loved those.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was, this week I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go on eBay and see, like, what is it gonna cost to get? And, like, I saw one, there was like a set of the two of them together, not brand new and packaged. These are open, used, pre-owned, like $950. And I was like, well, I'm not going to own that. So, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, would it be cool to have it? Would I love to have it? Yeah, but I don't need to spend $950 on, some toy from 50 years ago that, folks have, done who knows with over the years that's loose.
Did you look at the prices of the Kraken?
No.
That
I
thing
never
is
had that
insane.
one though, so that it doesn't have that
insane.
nostalgia thing. So
It's painful. It's painful looking at the price of the Kraken.
Yeah, but Phil McCracken. All right. Anything else on bitching before we go back to Kenzo on toy pickups?
I wasn't bitching.
I know, but we were bitching about people bitching.
Okay,
let's see what Kenny.
Don't bitch.
Yeah, let's see what Kenzo's got. What you got, Kenzo? A crystal tower castle? What? That's crazy.
I heard it lights up.
Yeah, it does. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Ooh. Oh. Jesse, thoughts?
I can't afford it. It's awesome.
You got that candy.
See how easy that was?
It was
See how
nice.
easy that was?
That was a good example, Jesse.
Is that the special edition with like the metallic green?
Yeah, they had like a day worth of restocking it, and because I missed it on the first run, and last week they were there. They had a few that, like, Scareglow was back and a few other ones, and then she was there, and I was like, holy cow, with all the different head sculpts and
That's cool.
That
all that good stuff.
I think that one looks a lot cooler than the cell shaded one, in my opinion.
if-
If I
I
was going
didn't
to get one, it would have
realize
been that one.
I didn't realize they put the X-Men Evolution head in there. I'm a much
Yeah.
bigger fan of the big hair rogue, but that's crazy.
And then 2 more. She got the laser eyes and then the
Holy
winky
crap.
face.
See, that's something that I wish, I don't know. I wish they had some kind of dumbed down version of these that they didn't put like 4 heads in and just charged a little bit less money for. But
And this one too. I got him at Ross. I don't know. He's a Power Ranger. I don't collect Power Rangers, but he looked cool.
that is cool.
That's cool.
I honestly kind of just
His blast
Thought that
effect
was
is a little
Daft
droopy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he-
Little
he
Let him,
needs-
let him look at
you should
Rogue
get
for a
him
while.
some
There we go.
Luchu.
yeah, give him a little.
There it is.
Get him one of those blue pills. Yes, Trevor, Perseus, he did have open toe sandals. You know where you didn't see Perseus was a fucking toy convention. So there you go.
That was it. That's all I got.
To be fair, Curtis, just to be
Yeah.
fair, I'm not
Yeah.
saying you're wrong because it's your opinion, and I'm not a big toe person myself, even though I have to take my shoes off as soon as I get home and socks. I just have to. But I'll respect whatever someone's house in. I didn't realize you were talking specifically about Comic-Cons or like that kind of a thing until 80% of the way through your rant about feet.
Yeah, we're talking
Excuse
about
me.
at toy conventions.
In public.
Bitching about feet.
Yeah.
Not rant.
Yeah, because back-to-back weeks, Muskecon, Schmerber is walking around.
Oh no,
with
I
his
heard
toes
all of it.
out.
I heard
and then,
all of it.
and then yeah, Mark next week. So it's just like, come on, double jointed, do better.
Were
I
their
expect
feet
better out of double
clean?
jointed. I didn't look.
Doesn't matter.
Here's okay. So here's how it goes.
I
right?
think it does. I think it does.
Here's how it goes. I'm walking
to
around.
Curtis,
I'm
it didn't
walking
matter.
around the convention.
Oh,
I'm looking at the ground. I'm walking around. I see toes, and I go, oh, and I just kind of turn and go. Like I don't want to take time to look. Like, are the nails trimmed? Is there junk between the toes? I'm not looking that hard. I'm not looking for bunions. I'm not doing research. I just see run, go the other way. So
okay. Because I would say that there's extenuating circumstances. I've known people that have a problem with their feet swelling, so they
Medical
actually can't wear
conditions, yeah.
enclosed shoes because of that.
can they
But
wear
I
socks?
know that personally, I'm not a huge fan of those people that walk around with like black feet from walking on like blacktop and stuff barefoot. And I don't
And the
Can,
heel-
can they
their
wear
heel is
socks?
like
Because
hard
socks,
plastic.
I would be okay. You know what I would be okay? You know those things that people I don't even know what they're fucking called, but they're basically like foot gloves, right? Where like it's
Yeah.
got like the toes. I'm okay with that too.
Toe
Like as
socks.
long as you're covering
Toe
it up,
shoes.
Yeah, I
whatever.
was gonna say they got them with shoes used
Yeah.
for hiking.
So weird.
You know what, V-Dog? It's going to be really weird watching their show tomorrow. It's going to be really weird. There's going to be just some awkwardness there. I'm
they
gonna
should
be,
sit in their chairs upside down like Mork.
I'm going to be watching the
Make
show.
the show even better.
It's going to be like they're going to be on there and they're going to be playing their little commercials from old toy lines that would be exciting. Which, by the way, V-Dog did a little recording that they play before it after these messages. We'll be right back. Really great. But I'm going to be watching that part, and they're going to be talking about toys, and I'm going to be trying to get into it and having fun, and all I'm going to see is Greg's toes in my fucking head, and it's just going to be very difficult. So
To watch their show with an erection.
that would not.
Ew.
I mean, maybe inverted. Like
Gonna look like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Power
come
Ranger
on.
that
Really? Come on. No. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, no. I would have an any at that point, Joe. So just letting you know.
Yeah, that's all right, Curtis. We know the truth.
Listen, there's one person.
He's got bare feet.
There's one person here that knows the truth, and that's Darla, and that's all I care about. So she knows. She knows. Anybody around here walking around with their toes out, they better get the fuck out of my house. So, all right. Anything else, guys, before we move on?
It sounds like
think
you
we're
want to
good to
move
move
on,
on.
so move it on.
All right.
Keep on
Do we
trucking.
want to go to our primary objective or this week in theaters?
This week in theaters.
This week in theaters. All right, let me pull it up.
if I get Vecna action figures at Legion's Con, Curtis is going to be waking up to some toes in his face. I'm just saying that right now.
You fucker.
Payback's a bitch, man.
I told everybody earlier that you were working overtime so you could buy more Vecna figures.
Yeah, and not shoes.
Is there a Vecna figure out?
I'm gonna river dance.
You know
on
what?
Curtis.
Yeah, I think there is, Jesse. Hang on. Let me see. Where did it? This little dildo.
Oh, see, I thought you were gonna hold up a Vecna.
That's purple
action
clawful,
figure.
isn't it?
And that's the upgraded one with the translucent
Except,
dongs.
and it is upgraded and a nice figure, but it's not fucking Vecna. So.
Where'd the translucent ones come from?
Wait, I know the problem.
You don't know what he's doing off camera. He might. Be.
I know the problem. Can you take the crab off his chest? Can you that's why
you got to
Joe
get rid of his
recognized it.
crabs.
There now, Joe. Now see there it is. That's Vecna.
No, it's still not Vecna. I don't know.
Oh, he might have his eyes closed. Sorry, Oz.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna go this week in theaters. For anybody joining us for the first time, why is this the show you stayed in for? But
if you're all still here, you just asking for it.
Yeah, this is where we time travel. We're gonna go back to a certain year based on the random number generator, whatever year it lands on. We're gonna go into the theaters on this date on that year, and we're gonna look at the top 10 movies that are at that time, and we have to pick one that we're going to go watch. So here we go, and we landed on 1993. 1993.
Freshman year.
Yeah. So here we go. All right. Weekly. We're going to 93. We're looking for November 4th. All right. Here we go. Number one at the box office in 1993. Cop and a Half.
Wow.
Whew, this is setting the tone right here. After witnessing a murder, a young boy named Devin refuses to testify unless he's given the chance to be a policeman. So there you go. That was number one at the box.
Burt Reynolds.
That is Burt Reynolds. Number two at the box office this week is The Adventures of Huck Finn and his friend Jim. In Missouri, during the 1840s, young Huck Finn, fearful of his drunkard father and yearning for adventure, leaves his foster family and joins with runaway slave Jim in a voyage down the Mississippi River towards slavery-free states. So next we have The Crush. Journalist becomes the unwanted center of attention for a 14-year-old girl who proceeds to sabotage his life after he refuses her sexual advances. 14-year-old girl.
Oh boy.
Well,
if he couldn't stop her, like what kind of a man can't just punch a 14-year-old girl in the face and get her to stop? Like I could stop her advances so fast. I know I could.
By the way,
I don't think
V-Dog's saying that we need to update our thumbnail to a toenail. So,
okay.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone, that was a joke, and I don't punch 14-year-old girls in the face.
Joe, I don't think any
they have to be at least 15.
14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
He stabs kids. We know he doesn't punch any of them.
Next
Those
to the
are
box
jokes also.
office, after getting beat by Cop and a Half,
Wow.
is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. When journalist April O'Neil discovers an ancient scepter with magical powers, the Turtles must cowabunga their way back to the 17th century Japan to rescue her from the evil clutches of Lord Noranaga.
It is.
Lord Noranaga. All right, next, number 5 at the box office, we have Point of No Return. Government fakes the death of a criminal to turn this young woman into a killer on its service.
Bridget Fonda.
Then we have Born Yesterday. A businessman comes to Washington with his ex-Vegas showgirl girlfriend, and after some embarrassments, he hires a reporter as a tutor to smarten her up. She turns out to be smart, sucks up knowledge, and questions things. Trouble? Question mark.
Wow.
Sucks up knowledge.
That really makes me want to watch that. So bad.
This is Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson, and somebody else. So next we have got The Crying Game. British soldier kidnapped by the IRA soon befriends one of his captors, who then becomes drawn into the soldier's world. So then we have Unforgiven. Retired Old West gunslinger Will Muni reluctantly takes on his last job to avenge an injustice with the help of his old partner and a newer outlaw known simply as the Schofield Kid. Then we've got Jack the Bear. Danny DeVito is John Leary, a professional clown whose wife's death in a car accident has left him to care for two young boys.
His two young boys, not just random ones.
Yes, that's true. He's babysitting them. And last, but certainly not least, we have Groundhog Day. Narcissistic, self-centered podcaster Curtis Ackerman. No, sorry. Got caught up there. Narcissistic, self-centered weatherman finds himself in a time loop on, you guessed it, Groundhog Day. So there we go. That is the 10 movies that we have. We are starting up at the top. Kenzo, you are first. What movie are you going to see from this list?
Dude. There's probably a lot of kids being made right now because there was nothing at the movies. I'd have to just go hang out and watch Unforgiven. That'd probably be the one I'd enjoy.
Unforgiven. We got one for Unforgiven. Joe, what are you saying?
I am also going to see Unforgiven.
I almost called that as soon as I called out the name of the movie. I was like, that's what it
was tough because Groundhog Day is a damn fine movie, and I enjoy Bill Murray very much, but I like Westerns, and Unforgiven is worth watching just for the scene where he's trying to shoot the cans. And he can't hit him with the pistol, and then he goes and grabs a shotgun.
Kevin says if your pick isn't Unforgiven, then he's going to show you his toes.
Hey, no toes for me. Right on.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Jesse, we've got two so far for Unforgiven. There are no Nazis in it. What are you picking?
Turtles 3.
Turtles 3. Okay. All right. Lord Nonaga. All right. Oz, what you got?
Oh, it's a no-brainer. I'm hanging out with Kenny and Joe. We're going to have a clubhouse party in Unforgiven.
Woo. Okay. So we got 3 for Unforgiven. We got 1 for Turtles 3. Jeff, what are you going to watch?
Well, some people think I would pick one particular title in this list, but I'm not going to.
You're gonna disappoint V-Dog, huh?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna disappoint V-Dog because
okay.
I'm not that crazy.
Okay.
And I don't want to see TMNT 3 again in the theaters. That wasn't cool, but I do want to see Bridget Fonda in Point of No Return in the theaters. I never got to do that, so that would be great to see on the big screen. If anybody knows what La Femme Nikita is, that is what this movie is based off of.
Never seen either
American version.
If I wanted a female-led movie, I'd watch Star Wars. So
Are you calling Mark Hamill a female? What?
I mean, come on.
It means new Star Wars.
Yeah. So,
gotcha.
Gosh. I'm not going to see Cop and a Half. Huck Finn has some potential. Crush, no. Turtles 3, gosh, no. Point of No Return, never heard of it. Born Yesterday, no. Crying Game, no. Unforgiven's a really good movie, but I think I'm going to probably do a multi-watch of Groundhog Day. Yeah, I think I'm just going to watch it over and over again. So
he's in on the narcissism, right? There you go.
Yeah. I love Bill Murray. I love that movie. I love a lot of movies that have like that time loop kind of thing in it, including mine and Jesse's, popular movie, Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2. but yeah, I think I'm gonna go see Groundhog Day. So
Nice.
Collecting Brothers says TMNT 3. Eddie also says TMNT 3. G is going to watch Unforgiven. We know Kevin's pick. He said if you didn't pick Unforgiven, expect some toe picks.
He just said he was going to send toe picks to anybody that didn't pick Unforgiven.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean he's going in to see Unforgiven. It just means
he also said best Western ever, so I'm pretty sure that's his pick. Brad
That
said
could have been about
Unforgiven
any
or Groundhog Day, so either one. We don't usually let that slide, but that's all right. We'll
Also, just it is not the best Western ever, but it is a good movie.
Agree.
It's one of the top.
Agreed.
Best Western ever is definitely subjective, so it maybe
Right.
for him it is.
That's true.
I've never
Yeah,
seen.
we
are you?
solidified earlier that opinions don't matter. So
I mean,
I'm on the show and he's not. It's not the best Western ever.
So okay, so what would you say is the best Western ever then?
Well, that's subjective, Curtis.
That's what I just said.
Pretty sure it's a hotel
I don't
chain.
recall that.
Huh? For me, it's Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Like hands down, I could watch that movie.
One, yeah.
I could watch that movie every day for the rest of my life. Like I absolutely love that movie.
Nothing like a good spaghetti
I'd
western. I
say
tell you.
my favorite Silverado, just because like it covers every classic Western trope within that movie. It's like 5 different Westerns in one.
If you haven't watched The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, you're missing out.
Ooh, listen,
That's a good one
Probably
too.
my
Yeah.
favorite.
I'm going with Tombstone.
Tombstone's a great one.
Tombstone's
That's a
classic.
great one. Now that one to me is a little bit different. I don't know that I would have put that in a Western category. I mean, it is, but it's like, it's almost like it's based off a real
second
story
one
and stuff.
is Dances with Wolves.
Now that I wouldn't necessarily call that a Western. Would you guys call that
It's
a
a
Western?
Yeah,
Dances with Wolves?
Midwest.
Just because he himself was not like a cowboy,
It's
it is
a
a Western.
pioneer. A pioneer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I wouldn't call
I
that
don't
a
know.
Western.
It was the move west is what drove the cowboy lifestyle. So.
There was no dirt. You have to have dirt to be a western. A lot of dirt flying up for a western. There's a lot of grass.
There's a lot of
If
dirt.
it's not
Going after
filmed
that
in
buffalo,
Arizona,
there's
it's
a
not
lot
a
of
Western. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Jesse, do you have a favorite Western?
Open Range.
The
Robert
animated
Duvall.
movie.
Yeah.
Never heard
No.
of it.
No, Robert Duvall.
Okay.
It's amazing. Yeah,
All right.
Robert Duvall, Kevin Costner. Crap, what's her name?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Man with No Name trilogy.
But yeah,
Hell yeah. Kenzo, did you give us one?
I didn't, but I kind of agree with you on the good, bad, and the ugly. Like I've watched that several times, and
Yeah.
G's
Just
I
got a
think
good
$1
even
point.
the
$2.
Outlaw
soundtrack
Josie
itself,
Wales
like all the
is-
music in there, just I don't know. It's just the whole thing is great. Everything about it, I like.
There's 2 types of people in this world. Those with loaded guns and those who dig. You dig. So
Some of the
G's
best
got a
gas
point.
scenes-
Like how many backstabbing? I mean, how many times did you? I mean, everybody just turned on everybody.
yeah.
Oh,
It was awesome, and everybody knew they were going to get their shit turned on. But
And you know what? Although they were all kind of bad guys, the bad guy was super bad. Like he's a fucking
Really
prick.
shitty.
Lee
Like, he
Van
is
Cleef,
bad.
baby. What do you expect?
And the ugly, he's pretty ugly.
Oh, he's definitely ugly.
I love this scene where he's
I'm not
just sitting there taking a
criticizing the
fucking
movie.
bath,
I
and he's got the fucking gun in the bath with him, like under the bubbles. Just fucking shoots the guy. If you're gonna shoot, don't talk, just shoot. Go ahead, Jesse.
I
sorry.
barely made it through that movie.
Oh, I fucking
Oh,
love
okay.
it. I love it.
For
so
me,
much.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but it just
I
at
like
the
the
time
cheese
I
of
got
it.
to see it, it just did not work for me.
And
I'll
then
agree
him-
with you though, Jeff. I really do like crap. What was it? Silverado was my top one until Open Range.
that was Oz.
This is me. Yeah.
Sorry, Oz. Sorry, Jeff. Whoever you are, you
Classic
both have
name.
bandanas on. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, but mine's the right color.
Yeah, we can't tell the difference between Oz and Jeff for sure. They could switch clothes and fool
I'm
people.
colorblind.
You know, the amount of beard that Jeff is lacking, but
Brad says I'm a big Rooster Cogburn, Searchers, and Once Upon a Time in the West. So, and I am TJ Williams. Just put an address, so I don't know.
I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about.
dropping addresses in there.
Yeah, just
all right, folks.
yeah.
Send your feet pics.
Feet pics to that address.
Just mail them. Old school. Get some stamps.
There you go.
Bone Tomahawk's up there. too.
Postcards.
Oh, Bone! Come
Feet
on, don't be. You already got me with that Bone Tomahawk bullshit. So,
Ooh, Trevor's pulling up. A good one, too.
yeah,
Butch Cassidy.
Trevor.
Well, I
Bush
can't
Cassidy
say it's
sent
one of
that
my
too.
favorite westerns.
You can say whatever you want, but you tricked me into watching that shit. You're an asshole for that.
I've
So.
got one that I enjoy the
You?
death scenes where they just keep on getting shot and they don't die. Young Guns.
Young Guns is great. I love Young
Oh,
Guns.
Young
Young
Guns
Guns is
and Young
great,
Guns
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Apparently now we're gonna get
Not so much
Young
two.
Guns 3, but they're not so young.
Yeah, they're old
Old
guns.
They're very old,
Oldie
rusty
guns.
guns now.
Rusty guns.
Aren't half of them in jail?
I'm pretty sure didn't they wipe out
Wait a
the
minute,
rest
wait a
of them at
minute,
the
guys.
end of two?
Wait a minute. I think TJ Williams just gave us an address for a Best Western.
So again, send all your feet pics.
To the Best Western in Phoenix, Arizona.
Right.
And if you guys
all
want to go with the title of the show, you could go with Tombstone,
Yeah.
being
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
is a Val Kilmer,
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
on there.
and there we go. So now
Our segue. Thanks,
we're
Ken.
on to primary objective. Jeff, you want to start us off with this one?
A legend of Hollywood, a man of many faces, of many characters in our lifetime, I would say. Most of our lifetimes. I'm pretty sure all of our lifetimes on the screen, and many.
I'd really hope so for everybody that's here.
Yeah. Val Kilmer has passed away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we, as a collective group, decided to talk about him and talk about the best, the worst, the great, the ugliest characters he ever portrayed.
All right. Who wants to kick it off?
Great.
Curtis.
Anybody?
Yeah, Curtis,
okay,
why don't you kick it off? Yeah.
I'll kick it off. For me, I think it's got to be Doc Holliday and Tombstone. Like it is. He's such a flawed character. Like clearly he's got his issues, but at the same time he's like an amazing badass, and he's so fucking witty. Like I just love that the way that he's portrayed that character so much. It's probably one of my favorite characters, not only in a Western, but just in movies in general. It is like he's that witty friend that you want on your side. Like when you're facing down a group of other guys, like you want that one guy that's just got the perfect thing to fucking say. And then at the same time, he can back it up 100%. So, for me, there's a lot of great performances they had, but that's the one that I think stands out and is just second to none. So
It's definitely probably one of the most quoted. You know what I mean? I know that after watching it, me and my friends, that I'll be your Huckleberry and all that kind of stuff, you know. But I think now as an adult, probably my favorite line is when he says, "Well, I got a lot of friends." He looks at him and says, "I don't."
yeah.
You know, that, you know, shows his type of character, you know.
My favorite part of that movie with him, because there's another part with Wyatt that I like, but my favorite part with him is when fucking Johnny Ringo does his like fucking twirling the guns around and shit. He's just got like the little metal, you know, shot cup or whatever. He's just like, you know, it's just so fucking smart and witty and like makes him look like such a fucking douchebag, makes Ringo look so stupid. It's like he just did this thing that like nobody else in that fucking place can do. And everybody is looking at him like Johnny Ringo is the coolest thing fucking ever. and then immediately Doc makes him look like a fucking jackass. It's just so great.
I was actually just seeing a clip the other day of that. Apparently, so the guns are balanced in a certain way that makes those spinning actions very, very easy, right?
Yeah.
So the teacup isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to be able to learn to do that, he basically spent the entire time they were filming walking around everywhere with that fucking cup, spinning it so that he could do it so fluently for that scene. So yeah, Val Kilmer spent 90% of his time, when not being filmed directly, twirling a fucking teacup on his finger.
Yeah, and just for a safety thing for anybody out there that's considering spinning pistols,
don't
make
have
sure
it loaded.
that it's a double action revolver.
Yes,
It's a single action, you're going to shoot yourself. Just throwing
maybe
that
not
out
even
there.
yourself, but you're gonna shoot something.
A bullet is going to come out of the gun in an indeterminate direction. Please do not do that.
All right, who's next? Another Val performance. Who wants to call one out?
I'll go.
All right.
The Doors. Right.
Gotcha.
Not only, like, again, Val's always been very kind of method with how he does his acting, but you know, the training he did for his voice and everything, because he was actually the one singing the music.
Yeah, they did the whole fucking soundtrack. Like they said it's almost the difference is almost unrecognized. Like it's like you can't tell the difference between the voices if you like listen to the tracks side by side. Like he mimicked the voice that well.
Yeah, and I mean, I was already a huge Doors fan even before seeing that movie. I grew up loving that music, and you know, then to see a movie about it and kind of learn about, you know, Jim Morrison and everything, it was pretty wild to catch that. And you know, I know Robbie Krieger was definitely like, yeah, that's kind of pretty much exactly what it was with Jim Morrison. So like he nailed that role through and through.
That was solid.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't name one Doors song. I've never watched the movie. I don't really care about the music, but I've seen, you know, a few different documentaries on Val and then about that movie in general. And just the amount of work that he put in towards learning everything, like his mannerisms, his, you know, like what he did on his off time, like how he went about, you know, doing everything, like you said, the method acting of just kind of really diving into that character and becoming that character. Yeah, he did a great job from what I can tell. So.
When Oliver Stone was getting Val to audition or something like that, he recorded a song of one of the Doors songs sung by Val, and he took the recording along with another recording of Jim doing the same song, and I think he played it for producers or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the producers were like, we can't tell the difference. Like you've got the green light to go with this production.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Who else wants to go?
Kenny has been raising his finger.
I don't matter. You guys are good.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
I was just wondering was it a dream when you find yourself in a sort of sun god robe standing on a pyramid where 1,000 naked women are screaming and throwing little pickles at you? Is that how it goes?
Beautiful.
Real genius. It was a good show. It was my first introduction to seeing him, and it was like one of those shows, and I joke, it's like one of those 1 p.m. HBO matinee shows that was cheesy as hell, but I loved it. So it was a good one.
Still one of the best.
That was one of those ones that I mean, you know, back in the days before like VHS being affordable and stuff, you basically just watched what it was ever on TV, and they played it all the time, and I didn't have a problem with it because it was so fucking good. Like,
good.
I loved it so much. Like just to see these people that are so fucking smart, but at the same time like they're cutting it up and they're having fun and they're enjoying life and they're not, you know, they're not trying to be locked into what people want them to be. And yeah, it was just kind of cool to see. But at the same time, like there's a lot of laughs in that movie, but there's also some really serious moments where you're like,
heavy.
man, this is fucking heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good one.
I when we did the montages, I should have remembered Real Genius, because in Real Genius there's so many good montages to some great songs.
Yeah.
But for
Stop
me,
playing with yourself.
my God.
Kurt, this is God.
But my favorite part is when they're like they're crunching for the finals, and they're in the dorm, and that one nerdy guy with the glasses just gets up and goes, ah, 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 and just runs
fucking
out.
cracked. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Fucking snap. This is the first time I ever heard the term tweaking.
He fucking cracked, man. It just got to him. So fucking Laszlo was great in that movie too. Like he just keeps going into the fucking closet and just disappearing. Like, you know, it was like Frito-Lay or something that had a giveaway that he was like
Frito-Lay sweepstakes.
Yeah, and you can enter as many times as you want. So I figure, you know, yeah,
just making multiple sweepstakes tickets.
Yeah. He's gonna, I should, what did he say? Something like, I'm gonna get like 85% of the prizes, you know, or something like, fuck, holy shit. All right.
And the map worked out.
Yeah.
And between Real Genius and Revenge of the Nerds, always find a beautician school. That's the key, is to invite the beautician school to your college party.
Yep.
There you go. All right. So we got Doors, we got Tombstone, we got Real Genius. Jeff, Joe, or Jesse, who's next?
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff is up.
So a lot of them have been chosen already. So I'm gonna go with what was the one?
Well, the answer is you can't go wrong.
True. Well, there is one that Curtis would say.
Yeah, if you select Batman, you're wrong.
That's not Val's fault.
I'm gonna go with Mad Mardigan in Willow.
Oh, yeah. Excellent choice.
I'm not a big fantasy fan. A lot of people think I am. A lot of people don't really know me then. If you know that I'm not big into fantasy, I've gotten big into fantasy, but one of my favorite fantasy movies is Willow. It was actually geek for a visual effects geek. It's the first morph in a movie where Willow turns what's her name into multiple animals and stuff like that. And it was, I think, the first digitized movie from film to digital. So from a technical standpoint, it's one of my favorite movies, and for a fantasy adventure, it's one of my favorite movies.
I think out of all the movies that I would watch back then that were, I guess, in that kind of sword and sorcery category, he had the coolest fighting style. Like the way that he fought was so much cooler than any other movie and anybody else that fought with a sword. It was just like, I don't know.
Especially in the snow.
It felt like everybody else
had like a gunslinger personality to him for a sword.
Yeah. Yeah, like everybody else was just clanging swords against swords. Like it looked like their objective was not necessarily to strike their opponent, but to strike their opponent's sword. In a lot of movies is how I felt. The way he fought and flowed.
Go ahead.
Like it felt like he was actually trying to cut them. Like get around the sword and actually get to the target.
Well, the movement, that's what gets me. It's like watching Jackie Chan fight with a chair, right? Like just the way that he moves around and jumps and twists things and uses people momentum against him and all this and that. It's like I watch that and I go, man, this guy is just fucking cool. Like he's just now you can argue that throughout a good portion of the movie he's a fucking dick, but
that's not an argument.
Awesomely,
right? I think that's part of what made that so amazing, though, is that he keeps saying, "Give me a sword, give me a sword," and nobody believes him.
Nobody.
And then when he finally gets the sword, they're like, Willow says, "You really are a great swordsman,"
Yeah.
like, all
Right?
surprised.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah, he wasn't just talking shit that he can't back up. That's for sure.
He actually he was the one that invented all forms of lightsaber combat the Jedi used. Just
Okay.
Mad Marty did.
All right.
Putting that out there.
That's cool. Jesse or Joe?
I can go.
Go ahead.
For me, this might be a bit of a deep cut, but
Ooh.
The Ghost in the Darkness.
I
Damn
never
it,
seen
Joe.
that.
Was that what you were going to pick? Sorry, Jesse.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I should have known because of the location of that. So for me, that movie was kind of special for a personal reason too. He did a very fine job with his role in that movie. But I watched it when I was a teenager. A friend of mine and I were out that day goofing around in the mountains near where we live, and there was was a lot of mining, old school mining, like in late 1800s type stuff in Nevada. So there's old mine shafts all over the place. Well, there's this old mine shaft and there's a ladder on it, like an old metal rusted ladder. And my friend walks up to the edge of the mine shaft to look down into the hole, and an owl was perched on the ladder below the edge where we couldn't see it. And when he leans to look over, the owl flies up in his face and he loses his balance and starts to fall into the mine shaft. And I grabbed him and pulled him back. And he's like, "F that owl. I'm going to freaking kill it." Because I almost died. And I was teasing him, like, you can't kill owls. That's bad luck, and stuff. But he almost died for real. So then we go back to another friend's house and they're like, "Hey, we got this movie, Ghost in the Darkness. Do you want to watch it with us?" And we're like, "Sure." And he's up on that platform waiting for the lion, and a freaking owl flies by and he falls off of the platform. Val Kilmer does. And I start busting up, like I couldn't help myself. It was just hilarious to me. And my friend, he punched me quite a few times while I was laughing. So anyways, because of that movie will always hold a special place in my heart. Anyways, besides being an obscenely terrifying movie about the man-eater lion, because that is not a common thing, but it was a real thing. That's actually based off of a true story. There was a lion that just decided it liked what people tasted like. There was 2 of them.
Wow.
So yeah, which is not a normal thing. Most wildlife don't like the taste of people, but it happened. So aside from that part that you liked, is it a movie that you would recommend if I haven't seen it? Absolutely, I would. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's scary, but not like horror movie scary. It's like an intense movie because lions are terrifying. I mean,
Yeah, Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas are freaking phenomenal, and it's like both of them like at their peaks too, which is just even better.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Definitely recommend it.
Awesome. Well, Jesse, I know that was your pick.
Sorry, Jesse. Yeah, I didn't even think about that one.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
Do you have anything else that you want to, before you give your backup pick, do you have anything else you want to talk about on that one?
It takes place in Africa.
It does. It does take place in Eastern Africa. It's a buddy and I went and saw it. It was one of the first R-rated movies I think I went to, like, because I was old enough to go see it without a parent. Because it came out fall of '96, and I remember, it was kind of cold out, and my buddy and I went, and like he was able to get in, even though he wasn't 17, but he was with me, so like I got him in, not like snuck him in, but like because I was there, they didn't question it. But and I just thought it was just a really cool experience. He ended up passing away a couple of years later, but
sorry to hear that.
It was. I mean, I was 96. It was a long time ago, but it was just a really cool moment, of bonding with that friend. And just because Joe was talking about how he had that moment with his buddy, there was more to it than just being set in Africa. And I think Val Kilmer is I don't think it's his best performance. It's you know, I wouldn't say. I think it's a good, solid performance from everybody in the movie. But because of, I mean, it's on. No, Curtis doesn't like this number, but it's been on my top 13 list since I created it, or my old top 10
what
list.
slot?
It's I think it's currently in number 5.
All right, well then that counts because it's in the top 10.
Top 5, top 10.
It's been in the top 5 since 1996.
If it was 11 or 12, I would say fuck you, it's out. But all right. So what's your backup pick?
My backup then, since that was already picked and Willow was picked, my backup then is The Saint.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you, Jesse.
Just all the different masks, the slight tweaks to his appearance. I think he really sells that character and the whole backstory on it and everything. I just thought was really cool.
Without a doubt.
Awesome.
For me,
Elizabeth Shue, come on.
There we go. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say my one of my favorite actresses, the growing up being a young kid with horny connotations.
Easy.
Elizabeth Shue is right up there. No, this is OffWorld, Jesse. This is OffWorld. So yeah, the moment I saw that movie, I was like, oh, she's in it. Awesome. But to be a like spy thriller type of movie, but not a spy thriller type of movie, and to go and talk about renewable energy, that was a cool like sci-fi spin to the spy genre.
And like he wasn't working for an agency; he was just kind of doing his own thing.
Yeah.
There was no.
He wasn't MI6. He wasn't no. CIA.
Mission Impossible. Yeah.
He was just him. He was like, I'm doing the spy thing for myself.
And it was a long game. Like he had to do multiple things to get to the final thing.
We got a couple others in the chat. Revenant from 1/6 Shooter.
I think that was Westerns from before. I don't think Kilmer's in
it was like,
no, not Revenant.
I was like, I've never seen it, so I don't know. Collecting Brothers asked about Red Planet. I've never seen that.
Red Planet is one of my favorites.
Solid one. He also, I was going to say there's been a couple mentions of Heat in there. Now that's the one with De Niro, and there's 2 movies called
Pacino.
Heat. Make sure De Niro, Pacino, Kilmer, like it's an all-star cast.
Yeah. We had for one of the Have You Evers, I think it might have been Sean's, was it, or it's Jesse, I don't know. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yep. With
that might have been Sean's pick.
It was probably Sean's, but that's definitely a good one.
He's really good in that, and obviously we got to mention Top Gun. Like,
it's funny to mention Top Gun. The difference between watching it when I was young and watching it as an adult.
Yeah.
Iceman, right?
Mhm.
Comes off as kind of a jerk. He's right.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
100%.
he's absolutely right.
he
the whole
really
time.
is like the good guy of the film, really. And Maverick is a dumbass.
I mean, he's still a jerk, but he's right.
He's right.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
But it's funny because, like, even as a kid, as I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, this guy's a jerk. But then towards the end of the movie, after, kind of Maverick flakes out and everything, Goose dies and stuff, like at the end of the movie, like when Iceman's in trouble, you're like, fucking come on, Maverick. Like, you got to get in there and save Iceman. Like, this is the guy that I've like wanted to punch in the face the whole movie. But now I'm like, but he's our jerk. It's kind of like, sometimes I'm really envious of you guys because you guys get to have me as that friend for you.
It's a lot like you, Kurt.
I don't get that. I don't get to have me as a friend. Like that guy that's kind of a jerk, but I really love him too, and I want him on my side.
Narcissistic, self-centered.
Curtis, I will totally be mean to you if you want. Like, it would be my
probably
pleasure.
the main reason I'm jealous of you guys is that you guys get to have me as a friend.
Oh, Curtis, you just need to talk with Punk more. It's okay. You got that friend too.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. All right. Any other performances you guys wanted to call?
Yeah. Crap, I just lost it. Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, voice acting.
The animated movie. He does Moses.
Mhm.
I mean that in really at a time when Disney movies were kind of, to me, okay, it's Disney, you know what you're going to expect. That movie really blew me away, and a big part of it was his voice performance in that. I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of voice performances, one of the last performances that he did before he lost his voice was in 2008 for the reboot of Knight Rider, and he took on the voice of Kit from William Daniels doing it for Kit, the Night Industries 2000. Val Kilmer was the voice of Night Industries 3000 in the 2008 reboot, and he just blew it away. Like, if you ever watch that series, it really harkens back to the original Kit, the way he portrayed the car itself.
Interesting. Okay.
Cool.
Oz.
Quick short list of just another 3 like honorable mentions. We were talking about westerns before, and I love any western that Tommy Lee Jones is in, and Val Kilmer was in The Missing with him. It was another good solid western movie. Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yep.
Another really fucked up movie
with Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando,
Yeah.
Dr. Moreau. And then another one of my personal favorite movies, because it's got so many of my favorite actors in it, True Romance.
Mhm.
Christian Slater.
Yeah, he very
Gary
small
Oldman.
role in that, but it's
Small,
a
but it
great
doesn't
movie.
matter. He was
Yeah,
in
it's a
it.
great movie.
So
Yeah.
I'll throw it out there. He doesn't have much to do. It's not like one of his greatest roles or anything, but it's a badass movie. If you haven't
You
seen
think
it,
it's White Boy Day? This guy thinks it's White Boy Day. Is it White Boy Day? Nah, man, it ain't White Boy Day.
And
Fuck
just
that.
one last one,
That
another one.
I think is Gary Oldman's most unbelievable performance. Not that it's like just the fact that it's him. Like there's a lot of movies where he like kind of morphs into these other characters. You're like, I can't believe that's Gary Oldman. That is the movie. True Romance is the movie where you see that and you're like, there is no fucking way that's Gary Oldman. And it's like,
And it
yeah, that's
totally
Gary
is.
Oldman.
It's totally him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he's a fucking Rastafarian fucking drug dealer. Yeah, that's Gary Oldman.
So good.
So good.
And
Yeah.
there's a movie where Val Kilmer's like the head of FBI team.
Thunderheart?
No, it's not Thunderheart.
Yeah.
Not Thunderheart. I can't remember what year it came out.
Don't know.
It was after 2000, but I can't remember.
Well,
Hang
he's got
on.
a lot of movies after 2000.
Yeah, that's my problem. Like, he did do a whole bunch like right after that. Trying to think of the name of the other. I'm just looking up his IMDb. Hold on. Mindhunters. That's the one.
Mindhunters.
Yeah. So like it's like this think tank kind of team for FBI or whatever.
I don't know
where they're trainees and he's like trying to teach them like some psychology stuff. He's in it with Christian Slater again. LL Cool J's in it. And Johnny Lee Miller, who's another one of my favorite actors.
I don't know what Spartan is, but the cover of it, he looks like Terminator. I don't know what the fuck the movie's about, but this was
I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that.
I
one.
think that's like a cyber crime thriller. I think
American political thriller.
Gotcha. Also, if you haven't seen Val, that's kind of like the the little biopic on him and stuff, where his son does a lot of the voice of Val Kilmer. In that, it's really, really well done. It's really good. So,
Curtis, you nailed it. He definitely looks like he was trying to be the Terminator on
right. So, I need to probably pull up that picture.
You should,
yeah,
because it's dead on exactly what it looks
like. It's like I don't know what the movie is supposed to be about, but
it's
the
like in
cover
Last
of it,
Action Hero.
Yeah, the cover of it is like they're like,
videos.
"Hey, look like the Terminator.
Look like
here's
Arnold.
what we're gonna do." Yeah.
So Yeah, in Last Action Hero, when the kid's trying to prove to Arnold that he's an actor inside the movie or whatever, and they
Yeah.
walk by the Terminator standee and it's Stallone.
Stallone.
Like this could have been
very
Val
underrated
Kilmer.
movie, by the way. Last Action
Last
Hero.
Action Hero? Oh, it's one
Oh,
of the
yeah.
best action movies of all time.
Yeah, tell me this isn't Terminator, right? Well, I have no idea what the movie's about, but come on.
It
I
looks
wonder
like Val
in
dressed
the
up as
movie
Arnold for
if he
Halloween.
says, "I'll return shortly."
I have never seen that poster for that movie.
All right, here's the synopsis.
Okay.
When the president's daughter, Laura Newton, played by Kristen Bell, is
Mhm.
kidnapped by a human trafficking ring, high-ranking Secret Service agent Robert Scott, Val Kilmer, takes on the case. With the assistance of his protege, Curtis, Derek Luke, Robert begins investigating, but the operation is called off when Laura is reported dead. However, Robert and Curtis, who have discovered evidence to the contrary, continue their search and soon find evidence of an elaborate government cover-up.
That
Way
is
to
the
go,
most
Curtis.
confusing
How have I not-
synopsis I've ever heard in my life.
You got Ed O'Neill in this movie, Kristen Bell, she's got to be real young. Clark Gregg, so Coulson's in this movie. William H. Macy, which automatically makes it amazing.
Did you say Ed O'Neill?
At
Yeah,
what
Ed
point
O'Neill.
do the machines become self-aware? Is that early on? what is it?
They took the president's daughter, and
Oh, okay, gotcha.
that's the government cover-up.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 did it better.
Right?
I don't know what Alan's listing here, but I'm for it. Whatever
Just
whatever
movies,
he's
yeah.
doing,
He's just
yeah.
listing badass movies.
Has nothing to do with anything we've talked about, but yeah,
Nope.
we're
He got
we're
Willow,
for
right?
it.
Willow's
did
in
get
Yeah,
it.
Willow,
Willow's
right.
in there. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Appreciate
Appreciate you being here, Alan.
Well, unless somebody has some lightning round, I do have some lightning round questions. I'm not saying that we have to end the show, but that's the next portion, and we can, if you guys want, we can hang out and talk, or we can end or whatever. But I do have some lightning round. So
Let's go with that lightning round then. What you got,
Anything
Curtis?
else to say goodbye to Val?
yeah, anything else on Val?
No. Okay.
No.
Just we're not going to get another guy. There's not going to be another Val Kilmer in Hollywood. There's not anybody else who can rock the bat nipples like Val.
I don't think. I think Bat Nipples wasn't till Clooney, wasn't it? Or
Nope.
Oh
Yeah.
no, his dude had
Did he
nipples.
start it?
At the
Gotcha.
end.
Joel
Yeah.
Schumacher.
Oh yeah, like the
started
very
it.
end of the movie when they're
Yeah,
running.
Joel
Yeah,
Schumacher started it.
All right. So yeah, lightning round. We'll start with Jeff. Work our way around. Best Elizabeth Shue movie.
The Saint.
Okay. Oz.
I'm going with my original crush on her, and that's Karate Kid.
Nice.
Okay. Well, Karate Kid. You got Saint Karate Kid. Jesse, do you need some time?
Yeah, give me a second. I don't remember
Okay.
what it's called.
I got
Joe?
another one.
We are going to you, Joe.
I don't know who that is.
Oh wow. Wow.
You
All
seen
right.
Karate
Right,
Kid?
look at it.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Yeah, a million
you,
years ago.
you can definitely go look up her name and see what movies she's in. I'm sure you've seen several of them. We'll give you some time as well. We'll go to Kenzo. Kenzo.
Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah.
The first one. The first time you see her, when she's.
Yep. I am also going to go Adventures in Babysitting. That is the correct answer because it is the best version of Thor we've ever gotten in a movie. And she's awesome. And it's just a fun movie overall. So, back to Jesse. We've got a couple cocktails in the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was my second choice.
She was in Cocktail?
Yeah. With Tom
Yeah.
Cruise. They meet on the beach.
I didn't realize she was in the new
Huh.
Death Wish.
I
with
guess I've
Bruce
never actually
Willis.
seen Cocktail.
Have to check that out now.
Has anybody seen The Boys? She was really good in The Boys. And
I'm going with one that probably no one has seen, and I don't know. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember liking it when I saw it. It was called Molly, where she's like special needs or autistic or something, and there's some sort of surgery that quote unquote fixes her, and like her brother's taking care of her. So it's like this person who's lived that way, and then her kind of like coming into more awareness and all this stuff. And then it's one of those kind of like goofy comedies, but like it's also kind of not dark, but I don't know. I really liked it when I saw it.
Okay. But just not related, well, kind of, but did you ever watch The Accountant, by the way, that I recommended?
Yeah, but I saw there's a sequel coming, so I will get it on my list before the second one comes out.
All right, Joe, did you do any research? Did you come up with anything?
Yeah, Hollow Man.
Hollow Man.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Solid.
Very nice, very nice. All right, next question. And you got to, just to answer the question, I don't need any, whatever. This is the question. I'm going to start with Ken's. We're going to work our way around. Who is the second best Batman? I don't want to hear your first. Second best Batman.
I don't know.
You want us to come back to you?
Yeah, come
All
back.
right, we'll come back to you. Joe, second best Batman.
I hold on, I can't think of the name.
All right, we'll go into Jesse.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, second best Batman. All right, Oz.
Kilmer.
Oh,
Kilmer. Okay, we got Affleck, Kilmer. We will hit Jesse, and then Jeff, and then we'll go back to Joe. Jeff.
Robert Pattinson.
Okay. Joe.
Kevin Conroy, the
Ooh,
voice of the animated series.
good.
He's my number one.
That's
always.
a good pick. That's a good pick. Kenzo.
Dude, I think it's, for me, it's got to be Kilmer. I think it's Kilmer. I liked the movie. I liked it. Nobody liked it. I liked it.
There's no shame in it, Kenny. No shame.
I'm gonna go Affleck. I'm gonna go Affleck. So, all right. And follow-up question to this last question: who is the best? Not the second, but the best Bruce Wayne. We're not talking about Batman here. We're talking about the portrayal of Bruce Wayne. We're gonna start with Jeff.
The number one?
Number one, Bruce Wayne. And I'm going to take Joe's trickery out of this and say live action. Best live action Bruce Wayne. So,
Best Bruce Wayne would have to be, for me, I'm going to say Val Kilmer.
Interesting. Okay. Oz.
I'm going to go with Christian Bale.
Okay.
He's my number two.
All right. Jesse.
Keaton.
Joe.
Keaton, and it's not even close.
Oh, wow. All
For
right.
live action. Yeah.
Kenzo.
If you go on number one with any sort of Batman reference, it's Keaton, regardless of whichever character he's playing.
Yeah. Man, this one's tough for me. I think that Bale did a little bit better in terms of the Playboy side of things, but I think Keaton did a better job of like playing the billionaire that is kind of aloof and not going on, not like the dichotomy of that character versus the Batman. So
He's the homeschooled Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say initially I was thinking Bale, but I think I'm gonna have to go Keaton. So
Well, see, because for me, like Bale encaptured the hurt, broken child that wants revenge.
Yeah.
In the scenes where he hadn't gone off to train yet or do any of that stuff, he definitely did a lot of the detective work that some of the Batman movies kind of glaze over, which Keaton did some, but not as
I think
much.
as far as detective work, the Pattinson one is like that's
Pattinson definitely was really a lot more of that. But then also just again, like you said about that Playboy-esque, aloofness of Batman. I think he kind of nailed all the parts that I see to Bruce Wayne without the cowl.
When
And
I
that's
think
why
of
he's
Bruce
my
Wayne,
number
I think, billionaire playboy philanthropist, right? And it's like,
full on rapist, right?
they're the playboy, in my opinion, is definitely Bale, but the philanthropist side is definitely Keaton. Like,
Give Knox a grant.
where like that whole scene where they're like walking through this stuff and there's like all this like armory stuff and everything, and like he's like, you know what, I don't know that I've ever been in this room. Like just that.
No, that's at the dinner table when he's sitting there with Vicky Vale.
Right, yeah, but
he's like, I don't even think I've ever been in this room.
Yeah. Just like that kind of like, I'm so rich that, it's
give Knox a grant. Like
Yeah.
that line. Give
King of the Wicker people.
Yeah.
Well, just like the original Superman movie, I like secret identities that are very different from the hero.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that's what I thought he did very well. Like, no one was looking at him and saying, he probably could be Batman, because his personality was so different, just like the old Superman movies. Like people still talk about, glasses are a terrible disguise. No one thought that goofy, clumsy Clark Kent could be Superman. It wasn't the glasses that was the disguise, it was the mannerisms,
personality. Yeah.
Well, and that's I know that there's people that are upset that Cavill is not still playing Superman. They're like, he was born to play Superman, and it's like, yes, he looks like a great Superman. He's a terrible fucking Clark Kent. He is like he takes off the suit and everything, puts on a pair of glasses. It's still fucking Henry Cavill. Like he's still fucking landing any fucking chick that's around, right? Like it's
hold on, guys. Hold on. I got a surprise for you.
Holy
Where did
shit.
Kenny go?
Kenzo go.
Kenny, come back. Kenny.
Where'd you go?
But yeah, he didn't do that whole transformation where he is that clumsy fucking like
he was cool
guy that's he's just still cool. He's still just a cool guy without the suit. So
I actually really liked Brandon Roth.
He did a pretty good job. I mean, respectable, but I don't think anybody's ever going to be
that overall movie
Chris
was
Reeves.
just kind of but I think because growing up with Chris Reeves as Superman, like to me, that was my closest depiction of him. And I got really mad we never got any more of that. And then they were like, no, we're doing Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. And again, I think he makes a great Superman, but you're right, he just doesn't have it for the Bruce.
Can you imagine if we had Christopher Reeves in his prime now with today's technology and all that kind of stuff? Like if they made a Superman movie now with Chris in his prime, like dude, so fucking good.
That one
they made
though,
a
that
digital
was
version of him in the Flash movie.
That's the lightning strikes once type.
Yeah.
Because even the John Williams theme, like I'm not an emotional guy. I can just hear a clip of that theme song and get choked up because that movie was so impactful to me when I was little,
Even when somebody else takes that John Williams theme and alters it.
Yeah.
Like, because with the new trailer, when it hits, I'm just like, oh, shit, goosebumps.
I think it's interesting when you take something like that has this long history, right? Like when they made that first movie, that first Superman movie, Superman already had a long history in the comics and stuff, right? But then they added this music and stuff to it, and it becomes part of the lore. Like now it is, a part of it. Like you hear that song and you're like, that is Superman. But before that movie, it was not. Like I think it's just interesting when something you already have something with a long history, and then something new becomes a part of that. It's pretty cool. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, John
and
Williams
even in that Roth film, when he's flying to save the plane and they start playing that song, man, I got pumped up. Like
you do.
I was like getting an old friend back,
Yep.
Well, Alan says the issue is we give special effects the same weight they had in the 80s, but now they're blasé and you need better acting. I think that I honestly think it was better in the 80s. Like obviously stuff, they can make it look more realistic now and stuff, and the CGI and the animation, all this kind of stuff. But I think there was a lot of creativity that happened in the 80s because you're trying, like if you're on that set of Star Wars and you're like, we're trying to make this fucking battle in space, but clearly we can't film this in space with actual Star Destroyers. How do we do that? How do we make this stuff look the way that it should look? And just the amount of different things that they had for sound effects, even and visuals, and you know, like they just did a lot of really creative fucking things that today it's like they don't even have. We'll just fucking animate it, you know.
Honestly,
Like
they had to invent so many different technologies just to do the things they used to do on film that now they can put into a computer program and it can
Well, they
do.
said the lightsaber was turning on a really old TV and putting a microphone behind the TV, and when it made that humming sound, and then he went back and forth, and that was the swinging of a lightsaber. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool shit.
Yeah, just I don't know. There was just, I think that you had to, you know, work at a lot more of that stuff than they do today. They just we'll just kind of throw that in there, or they've got like a board that already has like thousands of sound effects that they just fucking add to it, you know. Jesse,
I can't blame the technology. You know, like it's the same thing with like the way Eric Treadaway talks about the 3D sculpting, how he held out against it for so long because he was doing all the hands-on physical stuff, and then he switched to it and he was able to then, but here's the difference. He put the same amount of time and work into it, but he did it in different ways.
Yeah.
You know, it saved time. He didn't, you know, and I think that's the problem is a lot of the movies and special effects things, like they get them at the end, they take too long doing everything else. So the special effects places are rushed to get stuff done because the studio set some unrealistic, you know, release date and whatever. And I agree. I think between, you know, the acting and the performances, and Curtis, I totally agree with you. Like just knowing like, oh, well, we can just do this thing and fix it. Like,
yeah, we'll fix it in
we'll
post.
do it in
that
post.
doesn't give the people, you got to get as much on film, on camera, on recording or whatever in camera. I think you can enhance it with special effects. You can add to it, like the Dark Crystal Netflix show. I don't know if anybody watched that, but it's mostly puppets. They did enhance some of the stuff with some CG, but you know,
they can now, right? Yeah.
They enhanced it. They gave a little bit of extra life. You know, like Lucas has gone back and putting like blinks into the Ewoks and stuff. I never noticed that the Ewoks didn't blink, but now that I see them doing it, feels weird because like that technology going that far back just doesn't look good.
Sadly, I felt like the Ewoks not blinking was less creepy than the Ewoks blinking now.
Right, because and I think there's a like Curtis and other people are saying there's a mix of they were forced to be more creative, they were forced to figure out different ways to do stuff, which led to a lot of this technology being created.
Right,
but they now lean on it instead of using it as just another tool in the repertoire. And I think a lot of I'm not saying you guys don't know this, but for a lot of folks out there, like even animation and stuff like that's digital and computer generated, there's still tons of people spending hours on 3-second clips. That's why animated movies, even like Disney movies, take so long to come out. But the problem is when the people up top are like, well, we got to have this out by Christmas, or we got to have this out by whatever date. And then they just force everybody, well, you got to get it done. Like Black Panther's a perfect example. That movie could have been one of the best Marvel movies. I still really like it, but that last major battle scene is some really bad CGI in that sequence. And it's just because they ran out of time, not because they were bad at it.
Joe, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say that special effects should never take the place of a good story and good acting. And I think that in modern day, it does sometimes, not universally, but
it's
there's times that like Jesse said, they're leaning on the special effects instead of, you know,
they're using it as a crutch.
Yeah. Instead of like, no, we need a better story, or the acting's not up to par, you know. And, and that does happen sometimes.
Shit with, you know, flashy computer graphics, and it's like, nah, I'm sorry. Like there is no getting away with entertainment saying, that's good enough for government work and moving on.
So my time in the industry, there was a point, and it probably is because they're always going to fix it in post nowadays. It was called beauty visual effects, and it was basically we're going to cut the budget from the makeup artists to beautify the actors, and we'll digitally put makeup on the actors to make them more beautiful or less acne, less this and that. And that was part of the visual effects post-production services.
I just like if you go and watch like just YouTube, like the making of sound effects or something like that, like seeing them using like pots and pans or like an old chamois or just some like crinkled up wrapping paper or something, like, and they like do these things with this stuff, and then they go, you know what, this sounds like that, or this sounds like this, and like, but they just like playing around and testing things and seeing what, like grabbing old pieces of machinery and parts from a typewriter and shit like that, and just like seeing what happens.
Two of the coolest sound effects, in my opinion, from the Lord of the Rings trilogy is the sound of the Balrog moving. And that was a concrete cinder block being dragged over like a crushed cinder block, and they just really pitched it down. So it just sounds like that really scrapey, dry grab. And another one is it's either the wings or the tail of the fell beast, the dragon kind of thing the Nazgul are flying. It's a cheese grater on a rope that they're swinging around, near
That's
and
awesome.
to and from. So like I think, again, it comes down to, how much is the studio willing to throw at a movie or let people just do their thing. And I think that's, I don't want to get it on an AI box, but I think that's where like AI is going to come take a lot of stuff away, because they can just type in a prompt and boom, it's done.
Hey, building sets, Batman 88, like they built a lot of Gotham, that's practical. Like, hey, let's build these big statues and things like that. Or another one I really liked is The Crow. A lot of those sets aren't real places. They built them in a studio.
They build them up.
And I think that adds to the aesthetic of the movie a lot, because
I think there's something to be said for even like Jesse was talking about, like with the puppets and stuff, whether it's Dark Crystal or Star Wars or whatever, like, not only obviously it doesn't look the same as like a CGI, big giant creature and stuff, right? But from an acting standpoint, if you're standing in front of Jabba the Hutt, right, and like you see this big giant puppet thing and people are moving things and making this thing, that's got to feel different as you're acting towards that than like some guy with a bunch of like ping pong balls all over him just kind of going like this, right? Like there's like I imagine it's got to affect the performance some way,
Salacious Crumb, his movements, like I don't see somebody sitting down and coming up with that at a CGI, like his movements are so unique is because he's a puppet. And I think that added a lot to the character,
Like talking about the sound effects, like what Jesse was mentioning before, and like what you were saying, Curtis, I know earlier in the comments, somebody was bringing up that like Jurassic Park kind of killed it because it introduced computers, but like some of the visual effects, some of the visual effects that they had to do to get that, because again, although yes, there was quite a bit of CGI in that, the way you're taking an extinct creature that none of us know what the fuck it sounded like we've got
Joe's pretty old.
Joe is pretty old.
Back in my day,
he was in a mine.
Isn't he like 5 minutes older than you, Curtis?
No, I shot him with my single action revolver.
He's at least a good month older than me.
I think I'm older than Joe, aren't I?
The different animals that they put together, like recording different animals and layering them to come up with the different sounds for those animals. The way they get the ripples to work in the water with those cylindrical like ripples going out. They had to hook a guitar string up to the bottom of the car and sit under the car and pluck that. That's really cool. The xenomorph scream that's so popular. It's a fucking baby elephant. You know,
I think
but
this
it
is interesting.
sounds so
I don't know
alien.
if this. I mean, I'm assuming that this is something that Collecting Brothers have read somewhere. This isn't just something they're making up. But that's interesting if that's correct. That Bale said he didn't even try on Thor: Love and Thunder because of all the green screens. Like, I just got to think that affects the acting performance as well. Like, just
Yeah.
you know,
If that's
acting in
him
front of a
not
big
trying,
creature
though,
versus
well-
acting in front of a green screen.
Well, how does it immerse you
Mhm.
if you just look around and everything's green, right? Like,
Well, that would give a little bit more credit to the guys like on the. A lot of people don't like those, but the MCU when they actually went and Brolin just had a big stick above his head with where Thanos' head's supposed to be, and to actually be so into that part, like even when Rogers is holding on to him at the end, it's like and it's just like what he's really doing as opposed to what the movie's showing us. It's pretty. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty
yeah,
good.
no, it takes some talent, right?
Yeah.
Well, like in the Hobbit movies, the Peter Jackson ones, you know, there's all that stuff at the beginning and Bag End with Gandalf and Bilbo and the dwarves. Gandalf being as tall as he is, instead of doing the trickery they did in the first ones, like the forced perspective, because there were so many characters, they were filming. They built two sets side by side, or like on different parts of the lot, or whatever. And so the hobbits were acting in one scene in a different studio, and then Ian McKellen was by himself in a complete rebuilt green screen. And they said he was getting like depressed and having a real hard time because until they made like a special tent for him and they decorated so and then they could watch the replay where they had, you know, done that initial like merged him into the scene so he could see how it was all working together, and that really helped him. But like, I can't imagine, you know, I mean, that's how the prequels were. It was all, you know, like 4 or 5 actors on a giant green, you know, backdrop with like umbrellas.
You mean like playing D&D?
That's different. You're doing that for your own imagination and the fun of the group there. And it doesn't matter if our performances aren't as convincing to the 4 people that watch our show and the 3 of them being Dylan.
I'm just saying that we should all be professional actors because we kill it each and every week. And if you're not watching Legion's Quest, you're missing out, folks.
So Oz just sent this to me.
Yeah, John had sent it over to me.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I could see that. Like, you know, it's you, and it's funny because you hear some of these folks say that, like when the premieres happen, where they're like, "Oh, I haven't seen it together." You know, it's like, yeah, but you should know what the movie is like. You should have an idea of how it goes. Even if you filmed it in different parts at different times or whatever, you would think that you would know how it's going to look. But a lot of the times now they have no clue because like all this stuff hasn't been added yet. So.
Yeah, they don't see how it looks on the other end.
Yeah.
So it's back to the whole thing about special effects and like leaning on it versus using it as a tool.
Yeah.
In 2006, there were 2 movies that came out that were almost completely CG background filled in. A lot of it was on green screen.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was a little film called 300.
Never
Granted,
heard
it
of
was
it.
very stylized, intentionally done to look stylized like the comic book.
Yeah.
And then there was one with Mia Jovovich called Ultraviolet, which if any of you have seen it, have probably forgotten.
Let's just say I haven't put it on the rewatch list.
I watched it a couple times because I had like a huge crush on Mila Jovovich back then, but like it's not an enjoyable movie to watch because the CG is so overdone and so like flat that like the effects they don't land. Shadows are weird, and it's like these were done at the same time. Maybe one had more money than the other one, I don't know, but like it just shows a disparity in, all right, we have the imagination to do this versus I have this imagination to tell the story. How can I enhance this with these other things? So
didn't Sin City have something like that too? The one with Alba,
yeah,
wasn't it
Sin
kind of
City green screen?
Yeah,
because they were doing that black and white. That was also another thing.
Sin City and Spirit were both very stylized based off of graphic novel choice.
So there's another, I guess, technology nowadays. They're starting to get away from blue screens, green screens. We saw it utilized in the first season of The Mandalorian. They've since now moved it into Star Trek and a few other productions, and it's called The Volume. It was developed by Industrial Light and Magic (ILM), and it's a virtual production technology using large LED screens, and that's how and all the graphics are in real time. Basically video game graphics in real time, projected on the LED, or not projected on, projected through the LED screens, and that's how they're able to get parallax and stuff, because they have a virtual camera that tracks with the physical camera, and they're able to get parallax and depth and stuff with a actual projected screen of the environment. And that
Mandalorian was an Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's basically Unreal Engine, or I think Unreal or
Unreal 5,
a proprietary game engine, so to speak. But yeah, they're slowly getting rid of blue screens and green screens and going back to a physical reality, because not just projected in the volume, but they'll also build out the environment, because you have a screen, but you still need environment objects to interact with and stuff. So they'll still build a stage, and they'll still build items in that stage to go with the volume.
I'll say this last thing real quick about special effects. If you want to get into the seeing more breakdowns about this sort of stuff, not to pitch another channel, but like it's a channel where that's all these guys do is special effects breakdowns, stuntmen breakdowns. It's called Corridor Crew.
Yeah.
They do awesome things where they get into like why this doesn't work or why they get away with this effect. I think it's on that. They talk to some of the guys on Jurassic Park, because the computer's really transformed.
You gotta watch the couch ones.
Yeah, the computer's transformed, but like what those guys did on that first, it wasn't like, all right, here it is in a program, let's just, hit enter and it's done. Like those guys were kind of like renegades at the time when they did that. Like no one wanted to do it, and they built in the motion and all that. So like
they were really against using CGI, but with time constraints and everything, and then like the giant T-Rex, animatronic T-Rex that they built. Oh man, like through a thunderstorm, that thing got rained on. Could you imagine being in a set, everything's turned off, you're getting ready to go home, or just being the security guy walking around that set, and because the T-Rex got soaked and rained on, so in the middle of the night, the T-Rex just comes to life and starts doing its thing. Like, I'd shit my pants. I'm not gonna lie, I really would. It's like, it ain't supposed to be moving.
You gotta go.
Controlling it.
Kevin Hamilton says if he hears "This Is the Way" one more time, he's sending feet pics. So just FYI.
Do you know the way?
All right. Lastly, or at least the last thing I've got a little thing called the Dragon Telethon going on tomorrow. The final stretch, going from Saturday night into Sunday night. This is the lineup we have. There may be other people doing shows. There may be a show right after this one. There may be another show going on right now that's going through Sunday. I don't know. But this is the lineup that we have. We've got pregame show from PGG 9 to 11. These are all Eastern times. Then we're going into Ostradamus Toys Clubhouse from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Dragons in Other Media. I believe we've got a slideshow to present. Correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bud's worked hard on it.
Beautiful. We then have Let's Go Offworld, this channel right here that you're on, 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. I know Dooch has got a game ready for us, a dragon combat, as it were. And instead of a lightning round, apparently we've got a fire round and more. So then you got New to Mythics in the morning, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Going to be some dragon talk, mythic news, speculation. We then go into Art by Ackerman and Legion's Ladies simulcast, do stream. So the home, we'll be starting it on Art by Ackerman, and then there's an option which apparently once you're in there, like Tanya or Amber, whoever's in there, will be able to then simulcast it to the Legion's ladies, so you can watch it on either. But they will be using our StreamYard for it. So Art by Ackerman 11 to 3. We're going to be talking about how to customize a dragon. So hopefully we can get some folks on there that either are planning on customizing a dragon or just have some ideas for what you might do. From some simple repaints to maybe even some crazy ideas with, molding some things and adding things on it, or who knows what. We'll go into Latin Legions, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. They do a lot of games, a lot of smash or pass, a lot of this character versus that character. So we'll see what they've got going on. And then last but not least, we got Just Shelve It channel, as well as Legion's Lounge that will be dual streaming. And it is just the final countdown, the last 4 hours. We'll be getting updates from Jeremy throughout the day on Sunday. I know he said at least hourly updates, maybe even more often as it gets closer towards the end. We did pass 3,000 today, so that opened up the Ashen Skeleton. We've got 2 more stretch goals that are left. One is the Ashen Skeleton upgrade kit at 3,500, and then Beathir's Fury at 4,000. So, should be a fun weekend. I think it's going to be awesome. Anything on this, guys, or anything else you wanted to add?
Watch it.
Yeah, I was going to say, make sure you watch it.
Listen,
it'll be fun.
I'm going to be available for the whole 24. Now, I can't guarantee that every one of these people is going to want me on their channel, but if they want me on there, I think that we can fill 26 hours just talking about a dragon. I don't know. We're going to try. But I'm sure there's going to be some other conversations going on. You may at some point see me kind of like do one of these, like doze off in the middle of the stream.
Motu slideshow.
We'll see. There's going to be shenanigans. There's going to be strange things afoot at the Circle K. We'll see what happens. So,
yep. And each show is going to definitely make sure to pin in the comments or put in the description the link to the next leg. That way you know exactly where to go for the next part of the show. But honestly, if you're not already subscribed to every channel that's on this list, what's wrong with you?
And I think what we should,
you're probably not watching that show.
Yeah, probably.
I think what we should probably do is do kind of a relay race kind of thing where the other channel doesn't sign off until the next channel has started up. So Oz, if we start up right at 3 a.m., maybe you go to 3:01, so that there's never a break in coverage. People switch from one to the other and it's automatically ready to go. So
absolutely. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. I mean, you guys know Clubhouse, that's how we roll anyway. We'd be going to 5 o'clock in the morning ourselves anyway. So
yep, there you go. Anything else on this, guys?
I can't wait to be a part of it. It's gonna be awesome.
Beautiful. All right. Go around the horn. Jeff, where can people find you, sir?
Well, my tag was up. I'm at Source Figure on Instagram and Facebook, and YouTube. As of Wednesday last week, I finished my master's degree, so I'm done with school.
Master's in
innovation entrepreneurship or small business. Small business creation.
Yeah, that's a lot of work to be done with school. I was done with school when I was 16.
Got my master's in debating.
I was done school back in 2005. I don't know why I went back. But
so you can find Jeff in a lot of places, but where you're not going to find him anymore is school because he's done with that shit.
Yeah.
What
was it?
Play the song.
You some kind of book nerd? No, I forget the line from RoboCop. Yeah, so that's all done. So now I can focus on the stuff I wanted to do was 3D modeling and my YouTube show. So I'm taking Cosmic Contact some way, somehow back to YouTube, out of fucking Facebook because Facebook sucks.
Wow.
For live shit. can't show people screens. I can't have people on the screen with me as easy as it is on YouTube. So,
Oh,
be on
and
the lookout.
Alan just gave you a follow. So there you go.
Thanks, Alan.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for my show coming back to YouTube. I don't know how I'm gonna do it or where I'm gonna do it. But I have an idea that I'm gonna.
Just so you know, Alan wasn't following you before because he thought you were uneducated, like some of us on the screen. And so once he found out that you were educated, then he's like, I'm gonna follow that guy.
I'm
so,
educated.
Yeah.
Pretty much once he found out you were literate, he was like, I'm in.
Yeah, I hope Alan's not following me then because I don't read.
Darla, help Curtis out with that word, literate.
So okay, so before we still got some more for Jeff, but I got to interrupt for just a second because you said that Darla's trying to read me a letter that we got from our homeowners association today, and she's sick, so she's like coughing, and so she's like reading a couple words, coughing, reading a couple words, coughing, and she's like, I just can't do this, and she goes to bring it to me, and I'm like, whoa. Whoa, this is not what we do. Like, take your time, get a Ricola, take some NyQuil, whatever you got to do. Whenever you're ready, you come back and read it. But we don't just hand stuff over to me to read. That's not what we do. So, but Jeff, not only are you on Cosmic Contact on Tuesdays, which is going to be on YouTube at some point, but I've also seen you every Friday on a different show. What's going on Fridays?
So I've been invited. I've been welcomed into the Wolf King universe, and it's been great getting to know Len, being his co-host on his Wolf King Live every Friday at about 4:30, 5:30, depending on the day. I didn't know I was crucial to last Friday's episode until
he was very sad you weren't there. Yeah.
I guess I didn't get the memo. I was supposed to be the guy live at Toy Atlanta for Wolfgang Customs or Toys and Customs. But now I know that every Friday I'm Len's man on the ground.
You're his security blanket, his Friday security blanket. So.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm getting back into 3D modeling, 3D sculpting, and I've been talking to Len on some ideas and future endeavors with Wolf King.
Nice. And then obviously people can see you on this show on Fridays, right?
Employee of the month is my job.
I don't want employee of the month.
Yeah, don't be taken as employee of the month.
I'm behind the scenes, like way back. You can have your part.
There's a whole lot of I don't know what comes with that I'll be missing out on.
So now that we've gotten away from all this stuff that Jeff's doing, Oz, what do you got going on?
Oh shit. I do stuff. Yeah, so as you guys may have just heard, Ostradamus Toys Clubhouse tomorrow night, going on a little bit later than the usual start time. We're kicking it off at 11 p.m. so that we're going to be the first part of the 24 hours. Purple Gang goes on right before that, so they're being cool enough to give us a sweet pre-show, so a kickoff to the whole 24-hour thing.
I would say that they're the fluffer.
They're the fluffer. They're going to be fluffing my show.
Yeah,
all fluffing all around.
Yeah, for sure.
They're gonna be fluffing my BBD.
Very nice.
They're gonna be fluffing the BBD. So I love you, Jesse. I love it when you shake your head in disgust.
That's my favorite. Anytime that I can
big
get
Baltimore
Jesse,
yeah, that's exactly it.
Anytime I can get Jesse to shake his head, that's like my favorite.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
All right.
But of course, there's always that. And then one Thursday a month, we actually just had our Thursday last night with the Frenzy over on Skelevator's channel. Last night we were talking all about the Fright Zone. We were corrected that it is supposed to be the Fright Zone, even though all over the original box it's just called Fright Zone. So,
add that in there.
Gotta be the Fright Zone. So yeah, check that out. And then of course, each and every Friday night, you pretty much catch me right here on Let's Go Off-World. And then who else knows where the hell I'm going to show up, because I tend to be everywhere.
Well, we appreciate you being on here with us. We love having you.
Appreciate you guys having me.
I do see Terrence join the chat. Terrence, I know you missed earlier. It's probably going to come as a surprise, but I was ranting a little bit on a couple different topics. One of the topics that I was on a rant about was people showing their toes at conventions, specifically just walking around with sandals or whatever, and having them toesies out. And I heard through a source in the chat that Gina was one of the folks at Toylanta with her toes out. We got to cover them puppies up. Okay. It doesn't matter good, bad, ugly, whatever. It doesn't matter. Bunions, toe jam. They could be clean. They could be the nicest toes in the world.
Gina, you do what you want to do.
Yeah. We got to cover them up. Okay.
French tips.
Yeah. Yeah. So just make sure you pass on that note for us, if you would. Jesse, where can folks find you, sir?
Hopefully sleep
great.
in my bed.
There you go. But don't stand over him and stare at him while he's sleeping.
I mean,
he doesn't like that.
I don't want
At
someone
least
to
that's what
come
he tells
find me in here. I'm just saying.
Kicks and boots always. There you go. That's the way to go.
Hello?
So you got a little delay, Jesse, but it's all right. We still love you. So, and once again, he says, Gina says, I'm guessing toes are always painted. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're painted, pretty, ugly. Doesn't matter. Let's cover them bad boys up. Okay. Joe, where can people find you at, sir?
Here and there and everywhere. I don't know. I'll be on a bunch of shows, I'm assuming, for the 24-hour broadcast.
Very nice.
And then Monday, if everybody's up to it, maybe a new episode of Allegiance Quest.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, now I know what I'm doing Tuesday morning.
There's no if, Joe. It's happening.
And and for those interested,
that had kind of a rapey vibe there, Jesse. Come on, calm down, buddy.
For those interested, we did record our first top secret session of the Mythic Legions D&D. So
that nobody's going to care about for a long time.
You're not going to get to see or hear it for quite some time until their campaign starts. But let me just tell you,
Curtis is very proud of himself.
It's starting off with a bang.
Can just a quick point of order. Can we bring up Terrence's last comment in the chat there
about Joe's package? Oh no,
yeah, totally about Joe's package.
Yeah,
it was Joe's birthday this past week.
It was. Yeah, happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday, brother.
April Fool, huh?
Yeah,
looking good for 21.
You royal boob. Yeah.
Oh, 21, my ass. I turned 48.
Also, he says Terrence was handling your package. Apparently,
I loaned it to him. I loaned him my package. It's fine.
It'll be there in a couple days. So
yeah, that's fine. I don't got nothing going on, Terrence. Thank you, Terrence. I appreciate it.
More offended if someone gave me the finger or the toe. I would listen. People give me the finger all the time, and I would have no problem with that. But you need to cover them toeses. So, yeah, exactly. See, Kenzo,
you're number one.
Where can people find you, sir?
Usually about 10:30 on weekdays. I'll be at Ross.
Oh, all right.
No, I got a little thing on Wednesdays. At, of course, my favorite time, 7:00 Mountain, which is
I heard that's the best time.
6 on the West Coast, 9 on the East Coast, and then I also do a little ditty about an hour from now, the Friday Night Insomniac.
Oh, okay.
And just kind of get on there and same kind of bullshit. Just get on there and shoot the shit and have some fun, and then I get on Saturdays with Oz.
Oh, shoot the shit! Whoa!
Shoot it all over.
Pretty close.
Splatter.
That's
Gotta be careful with copyright there, Jesse.
Yeah. We got shooting the shelf on Sunday, so just be careful. Don't be stealing our material. So
throwing around fecal matter.
Actually, I think Dylan's working on getting that one copyrighted.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now you're on Dylan's territory.
Dylan's 8 talk.
Flinging poo with Kong.
So when we sign off here, folks, go grab yourself a snack, get something to eat, and then come on back and watch Kenzo in a little bit, kind of just Insomniac talk. So,
Yeah.
beautiful. Awesome. Well, I appreciate anything else, guys, before we close it out and lead into our long session tomorrow.
Yeah, if you're able to, buy a dragon. If you're not able to, that's okay. But if you can, you should.
And if you can't, we don't give a fuck to hear it from you. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
that's true.
Hey, look, I just want to say, imagine how anticlimactic it will be if we blow past 4,000 well before the end of the 24 hours. And we're like, yeah, we already hit that final stretch. What the hell are we all still doing here for the next 8 hours?
We're
so
just
go
getting
buy
drunk.
a dragon.
Yeah.
Then we're just celebrating.
Yeah. Then it's party time. So,
Right?
Yeah, exactly, Terrence. Damn, Jeff, language. He pulled a cap on you.
He's been hanging around me too much. That's what it is. I'm
Pulled a
bad at
cap on you.
No cap.
So we passed 3,000 a day. We got 1,000 to go, folks. Go buy your dragon. Don't listen to what Joe said. If you can get one, go ahead and get one. If you can't get one, go ahead and get one. So
if you get 4, that'd be a big help.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you guys can or not.
Can do to help us get more figures.
Yep, exactly. And just remember, every stretch goal that you get is free, so stop bitching about it. So there you go.
I'm actually sad I missed that part. But
And Alan asked me, what do I sculpt in? Not ZBrush, not Blender, but
Whoa, what?
Nomad Sculpt and Adobe Substance 3D Modeler. Those are the two that I'm
also signing up to get all of Jeff's models so I can print them and show them off. No,
nice.
I'm signing up for that. No.
I hear he likes castles, Jeff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have some castle ideas.
Very nice. Very nice.
It just I got what Jeff was saying now.
All right.
What did Jesse hear?
Good job,
Well,
Jesse.
You said not ZBrush, but there was like no pause, and I was like, "Am I gonna have to punch Jeff?"
Oh, not okay.
Nazi brush.
Got it.
Gotcha. Jeff uses Nazi brush.
Nazi.
Stop saying it. We're gonna get pulled.
Gotcha.
That's
like the worst one to use, man. Don't use that one.
But I will say, Jeff, if you do make a movie of that, Jesse will watch it and put it in his top 13. So
Hey,
No.
if I get to number 13, I'm good.
he loves not ZBrush movies.
He took all the
No, I
stuff
don't.
from Inglorious Bastards, turned them into little brushes.
I don't like that movie.
I'm talking about Jeff. Those
Is
are the,
I'm just saying for Curtis, like I don't like that one.
Overlord,
Okay.
Overlord, or Saving Private Ryan, or
Some kind of
Terrence. All right, changing the subject. Terrence, Len updated on the Wolf King Live today that he's getting those out. I believe a bunch of them are going out Monday. He just received.
So you
the
finished
painted
painting
heads.
them all.
I finished painting them. I sent them out Tuesday. He received them yesterday, and he's packing them all up. And the first batch should be going out Monday morning. Like he printed the labels and all that stuff, so he has all of them. Yeah.
And I just got to say, you did an absolutely fantastic job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, killed it. So good.
And since we're not doing setup, I can accept that praise and commendation. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Speaking of mustaches, best one in the game right there. Look at that. Yeah, doesn't get any
It's a
better
little.
than that,
It's a
folks.
little ragged from
think it's
me
a
being at
flight
work
of
all day.
dragons.
Gideon, eat your heart out.
I didn't get to stylize it as much as I usually would like to do before a show, but not bad.
All right.
Not-
Well, folks, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll be around for a long time. So if you got something to say,
3 a.m. on the
yeah.
OffWorld channel.
see us then. Who knows? We may have some open spaces. You may be able to get on if you're interested in doing something like that. So But we will see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks. Bye.